night for the reigning champions, the Coventry Bees, who are in deepest Sussex. It's the Eastbourne Eagles against the Bees, live from Arlington Stadium, and it's all in glorious high definition. Yes, good evening. Welcome to a blustery summer's evening here in deepest Sussex, the home of the Eastbourne Eagles. Yeah, absolutely. We are hanging on here, and I can tell you straight away, we're going to get underway at around 7:45 tonight because of the fact that there was a serious accident on the M23 on the way down here from the Coventry area, and a couple of the riders did get delayed. They are all here now, but we are just allowing a little bit of extra time for the riders to get set for tonight's action. Make or break for Coventry, Kelvin, as I said, because they need a draw here tonight, really, to keep alive their playoff hopes. Yeah,
they'll pick up 2 points if they get a draw, and if they manage then to win on Thursday at home against Kings Lynn, that could just be enough for them to make the playoffs this year. But if they lose by less than 7 points, they'll just get 1 point, and then they would have to win by about 30 points on Thursday, and that would be very much a tall order. But yeah, they're up against it, and they really need to be firing on all cylinders.
Well, let's take a look at how the league table stands right now going into tonight's action. We know that Poole, Eastbourne and Kings Lynn are confirmed as playoff contenders. Kings Lynn booked their place with that win over Birmingham live on Sky Sports HD last Wednesday. Lakeside hold that 4th spot. They finished their meetings on 46. Coventry, the only team that can catch them. As we say, though, they need a draw at least tonight, because if they only got a point, it would go down to the points difference, and they would have to beat Kings Lynn on Thursday by a massive margin. And at the moment, they don't have Sayfutdinov on Thursday night against Kings Lynn, and they are looking at their options of what they can and cannot do. So tonight, absolutely vital for them.
Putting more pressure on here this evening, and obviously Sayutdinov is here this evening, so they're going to be looking to him to put in a big performance. But yeah, the champions are under pressure, no doubt about it.
Well, let's introduce you to the two teams, starting with the Eastbourne Eagles. Whoa. And the Eagles line up like this. Bjarne Pedersen rides at number 1. We saw him in the Grand Prix as a wild card in Voyens at the weekend. Simon Gustafsson rides at number 2, the talented young Swedish rider. There's no Lucas Trimmel. He's suffered from a broken leg. He's recovering from that. His rides will be taken by his colleagues under the rider replacement facility. Lewis Bridger rides at number 4, featured in Great Britain's World Cup campaign in July. Jonas Kilmakorpi rides at number 5 for the Eagles, the Flying Finn. And down at reserve, Cameron Woodward at number 6. Plenty of strength in depth there with the skipper at reserve. And Timo Lahti rides at number 7. Now, here's Kelvin's man to watch.
Our man to watch tonight for the Eastbourne Eagles is their top man, Bjarne Pedersen. What a season he is enjoying. Already booked his place in the Grand Prix Series next year via the Grand Prix Challenge. He moves across the south course, the coach from the Poole Pirates. He's been in sensational form, particularly at home. I'm expecting another strong performance from him here this evening. Yeah,
it's been a great first season for Pedersen in Eagles colours, no doubt about that. Now, the visitors tonight are the Coventry Bees. Coventry line up like this then. Emil Sayfutdinov, the talented young Russian, rides at number 1. He's been here once before. Kenny Larsson rides at number 2 through the pain barrier. He has a broken wrist, but he rides on. Ryan Fisher, the American, rides at number 3, the skipper of the Bees. Przemek Pawlicki, one of the later rivals, only got here about 10 minutes ago. He goes at number 4. There's no Edward Kennett, rider replacement. He's banned, and if there's one rider they could have done with around here tonight, it's that man, because he used to be an Eastbourne rider, Edward Kennett. Piotr Pawlicki, new to British Speedway, the younger brother of Przemysław Pawlicki at number 6, another later rival. And number 7 is Nick Morris, talented young teenager. Now here's Kelvin's Coventry man to watch.
I've gone for Emil Sayfutdinov tonight for the Coventry Bees. He was a sensational signing earlier on in the season when he replaced the injured Hans Andersen. But unfortunately, his outings for the Coventry Bees have been curtailed through injury. Last time he rode for them was early August, but he's here this evening. We saw him ride here last month or so, and he did a couple of rides and looked okay, but they're going to need him to hit top form tonight. The Bees are under pressure, got to come good.
Yeah, had a good Grand Prix at the weekend as well. Emil, we've introduced you to the two teams doing battle on the track here tonight. Now, what about our team? First of all, taking a look at the track conditions, here's Chris Louis.
Thanks, Nigel. Yeah, standing down on the sideline here at Arlington, I can tell you track conditions are, well, interesting to say the least. And that comment, and certainly the lower than perhaps normal track rating, is no reflection of the hard work that Bob Dugard, the track curator's put in here today. He certainly has worked overtime just to give us a track worthy of the meeting that we've got tonight. Obviously, a lot riding on this Elite League meeting. Coventry have got to go away with a couple of points for a draw at the very minimum here tonight. And, well, the track is very, very slick coming into the corners. A lot of work has gone on there to make sure that they can get into the corners, although that itself may cause them a few problems, especially if we get any rain, which is a slight possibility this evening. But the outside, very, very grippy. It's going to be a little bit patchy. I think we're going to go 3 or 4 races. It's going to look very slick. Then we're going to see a few ruts coming out where it's patchy on the outside, certainly. So that could catch a few guys out. I think key to Coventry's performance tonight is going to be their young Russian and their young Poles. This track is certainly the sort of track that could catch these guys out. Perhaps with the slicker conditions coming in the corners, that may make it a little bit easier for them. But if they get caught out with the patchy stuff, then it's going to get certainly entertaining later on.
Chris, thanks so much indeed. And now down in the pits, building up to the action for us, here's Charlie.
Yeah, thanks very much. It's been a little bit different this evening. It's been pretty manic down here, as you said, Nigel and Kelvin. There's been some late arrivals. The Pawlicki brothers both arrived late due to the crash. They have just basically ran into the pits. Alun Rossiter, I'll tell you what, he's not just a team manager, he's also a bit handy as a mechanic too. He's been basically for the last 15 minutes working on both the Pawlicki brothers' bikes to try and make sure they're prepared, because Shemek just literally ran in here just a second ago, just before you came to me, obviously with them being late. Piotr, his brother, has never ridden here before, so the team have been giving his advice as well. Emil, who's out in the first heat riding as #1, he's been complaining how cold it is because it's very blustery down here as well. So let's go and see if we can actually get a quick word with him. I know you're busy trying to get the bike set up, but let's just have a quick word. You're not just a team manager, you're working down here with your team. How's the late arrivals going to affect everything? See if you can talk and do that at the same time.
I can do anything like that.
Yeah, go on then.
Talk, you know that. No, it won't affect them. It'll probably help them to take their mind off the track, you know, because it's vitally important we take 2 points tonight. So, you know, we're going for the win. Confident for the first time apart from Edward, we got full side. That's a miracle.
How much are you going to miss Eddie, obviously being a former rider down here?
Oh, massively, you know, he's a massive miss. He's had a great season, and it's just a shame what's happened, really. And it seems to have escalated since Eddie's downfall. You know, it's turned into our downfall, really. We've had injuries, riders missing, and everything else like that. So it's going to be tough, and hopefully that we can we'll pull something off, and it'll be really special tonight because we're going to come back and haunt some people.
It seems Coventry's way, though. That's what you do. You did it last year. We saw it. You proved a lot of critics wrong. Is it the same this year? How similar is it for you to make sure you can do that? And do you really believe you can?
Of course we can do it. Otherwise I wouldn't be here. Otherwise I'd be staying home and not bothering and making the effort and making sure I can get after these Eastern Europeans over here.
Good point. Thanks very much, and good luck, and carry on with your good work.
Yeah, thanks, Charlie. A jack of all trades, Alun Rossiter, and really getting stuck in there. And it's not ideal when you arrive late, Kelvin. And, you know, we saw the riders arrive on the car park in the van, charging through at about 7:20 here.
Yeah.
There was a bad accident on the M23, and it was closed.
Yes, clearly they were very late, very heavily delayed, and not ideal. It can work one of two ways. You go straight into it, you don't have time to think. You've been panicking in the vehicle getting here, you throw your Kevlars on, and then you literally pull your helmet on and go straight out. And if it clicks, then bingo, you're into action. I think for the younger of the two Pawlicki brothers, rather, it may be more of a task than the more experienced one.
I think you told me the story once about when you actually got changed in the back of your van.
Yeah, going to Bellevue
jumped straight
in
out
Manchester.
and then on the bike.
Exactly, I was in Heat 1, literally jumped out of the back of the van with my gear on, jumped on the bike and rolled out straight into Heat 1. So,
and how did you get on in that Heat 1?
I managed to win it. Didn't do much after that, but I did okay in Heat 1.
Fair enough. Right, OK, well, let's continue the build-up to tonight's action now as the Eastbourne Eagles take on the Coventry Bees, and we'll be on with Heat #1 very shortly. But first of all, the Eagles team manager, Trevor Gear, is with Chris Louis.
It certainly is. Thank you, Nigel. Trevor, the pressure's off. We're getting ready now for the last meeting in the Elite League here at home at Arlington. You've booked your place in the playoffs, but you can still influence your opposition, can't you, tonight?
Yeah, we certainly want to have a good meeting tonight. You know, the boys have been really on fire this year, and we don't want, you know, we want to win this one tonight and keep in winning ways, really.
Any preference who you'd prefer to see as a possible opposition in the playoffs, Lakeside or Coventry?
I'd like to see Lakeside. It'll be a good meeting, plus it's a good local derby, and it should be a good crowd.
Good luck, thanks for that.
Thank you.
Heat number 1 coming up. Kenny Larson, the man in yellow, as I mentioned earlier, is carrying that wrist injury. He actually did it 3 weeks ago, but was only told last week that there is a fracture in the wrist, and he's got it heavily strapped up tonight.
Yeah.
Simon Gustafsson in blue, the Swedish international, is actually in the World Under-21 final. 2 rounds of the 4 have gone in that World Under-21 final. But what a story for Eastbourne this year. They've been struggling the last couple of years, but they're right up there, and many people say they can go on and win the title this year. Kenny Larson on the inside, Simon Gustafsson on 2 for Eastbourne, Emil Sayfutdinov gate 3 in white for Coventry. Outside in red, Bjarne Pedersen for the Eastbourne Eagles.
Pedersen has been enjoying a great season, but he's off the outside here, and he's got a hard charger, of course, there. Sayfutdinov in the white helmet colour coming out of gate 3. Kenny Larson's probably fractured his scaphoid, which can be a long-term injury, but it's okay. You can just about continue to race with it. It aches all the time, certainly not ideal. And around this tight circuit, Lewis Bridger, of course, who it can be dynamite around this tight Arlington track. Keep an eye out for him. And you've got Colin and Alan there chatting away there in the pits. Colin Pratt, of course, part of the management team of the Coventry Bees. Heat 1, though, Nige, about to get underway.
Yeah, big night for the Bees. Remember, they need to get a draw here. Emil Sayfutdinov, the man in the white helmet colour, the brilliant young Russian. How will he go here tonight? Bjarne Pedersen, the classy, fast starting day. Heat number 1, the Eagles in the red and blue helmet colours, Bees in white and yellow, and it's a good start for the man in yellow, Kenny Larson, who goes wide and nipping around the outside. Now it's
Simon
Gustafsson. What a move from Simon Gustafsson. Spotted the moment, spotted the opportunity, and home track advantage coming to the fore. But Sayfutdinov will chase him hard now, Kelvin.
He is chasing hard back in 3rd place, but it was a hard-fought first corner. Bjarne Pedersen initially, and then up the inside, smart move from Simon Gustafsson. He fired himself into 2nd place. The home team, this is why they're hard to beat. Really tenacious early on, and have fired himself to the front, controlling matters, with the 2 Coventry Bees boys just beginning to get tailed off. Good stuff from the home team in the Heat 1.
Well, Sayfutdinov, of course, on his 2nd visit here, only had 2 rides on his 1st visit because it was abandoned. Took 1 race to suss the place out, and he was dynamite in his 2nd ride. But this is going to belong to Eastbourne, Heat number 1. They're going to win the race convincingly now. This is ominous for Coventry. Bjarne Pedersen from start to finish with a superb ride, although it's hard work down the back straight. Eagles and Bjarne Pedersen, who knows what it's like to win titles.
Yeah.
He's done it with Poole Pirates, of course.
Yes, he
and made that switch, and what a switch it's proved to be. A victim of the points limit. Poole had to get rid of somebody, and Bjarne Pedersen was the man they decided to release, and their loss is very much Eastbourne's gain. Bjarne Pedersen the winner, with Simon Gustafsson 2nd. Emil Sayfutdinov was 3rd for Coventry. It's a 5-1 to the Eastbourne Eagles, and that just underlines the size of the task ahead for the Bees.
Well, even with the maybe the advantage of gates 1 and 3 in Heat 1, the away team, the Bees couldn't make it pay. Kenny Larson made a decent effort from the inside, but look at the determination from Bjarne Pedersen from the outside. Doesn't quite get there, but allows the bike to run wide in the 1st corner. Gustafsson up the inside, charges in behind him. Terrific stuff early on. A big 5-1, we're on board, roaring around that 1st corner, down the back straight for the opening lap. There comes Gustafsson, right in front of Emil Sayfutdinov, who got beaten up coming out of the 1st corner. Terrific stuff from the home team.
Let's get some reaction to the first race with Charlie.
Yeah, I've got Bjarne with me. Heat winner Bjarne, fantastic start there with the 5-1. Trevor Gear just came over. Happy man, put his hand around you. Now, what is their aim today? What has Trevor said to you? Because you're not here to just have fun, have a good time. You want to show your fans and show that you can win the Elite League this season?
Yeah, I think it's important to keep winning home, you know, to still feel the confidence, and so, you know, full throttle and just look forward, yeah.
How hard is it to come up against an outfit like the Coventry Bees? Because we saw what they did last year. You know, they never, ever give up. They're one team that will carry on trying the whole time.
It looked like Coventry already got a good guest booking and things like that. So we know we're up against a challenge tonight, but, you know, we feel confident home, and as long as we're winning tonight, we're happy.
You've been scoring double figures consistently now, having a great season. What's the difference been for you, being an Eagle?
Well, you know, sometimes it's good to get pushed into a heat leader place like here, you know. I went in as a number 1, so I know there was some more pressure on my shoulder, and sometimes, you know, it's good that way.
Thanks, Bjarne. Let's get to the next seat. Thank you.
Heat number 2, Timo Lahti is the rider in the blue helmet colour, who has actually shown an improvement in form in recent weeks, and it just shows you can benefit from riding a alongside a reserve like Cameron Woodward, as we see Piotr Pawlicki now alongside his brother Szymek. They only arrived in the stadium and checked in the pits at 7:22 p.m.
Less than half an hour ago, but certainly those two lads, Pawlicki is going to find this a challenge, I know that. This is a tight technical track, slightly patchy surface to ride on, so the young Pawlicki brother here, Piotr, making his debut here this evening, certainly will be a baptism of fire, you suggest. Nick Morris on the inside, I like the look of him. He certainly is a rider, sorry, not Nick Morris, he's on the outside, but certainly Nick Morris I've seen before, he looks quite good.
Cameron Woodward off the inside in red. He'll be favourite to win this race, Woodward. Piotr Pawlicki goes off gate 2 in white for the Bees. Timo Lahti gate 3 in blue for Eastbourne. They've persevered with him because they've been able to, because they've got a strong reserve alongside him. And Nick Morris goes off the outside. I know Nick's dad, Lee, will be watching down under in Australia tonight.
He's only 17, isn't he, Nigel? You know, and I saw him
rides for Glasgow in the Premier League.
He does, and we saw him riding at Coventry just a couple of weeks back, and he looks really quite handy, so a big future in front of him. Looks like we're on board with Cameron Woodward, looking down at gate 1, plenty of grip down there, always lots of grip on the start liner here at Eastbourne. He too.
Woodward, who's been piling up the points at reserve. Such an advantage to have a rider that can score well at reserve from 6 or 7 rides if you need him. And he's made that first turn. Superstar from Cameron Woodward in the red helmet colour. Coming through in white now is Pawlicki. Good ride from the Polish star, and round the outside comes Morris now. Morris in yellow around the outside. They're on a 3-all at the moment, but still pushing hard is Lahti for Eastbourne. But the lead is with Cameron Woodward, the Australian, looking good, looking confident, and in control of heat 2.
Yeah, great stuff from the inside from Cameron Woodward. I've got to say, at this very early stage, I'm impressed with Pawlicki. He's hanging on in there. He's holding on to second place. First time around here, really just hanging on. Nick Morris there just nearly clouts the back of him. Has a sneaky look over his left shoulder. Out in front, though, the man who's been piling the points up for the Eagles, Woodward, in control.
Yeah, when you are down at reserve, if there's a rider in the main body of the team or your fellow reserve that's struggling for confidence and form, you can replace him. You can take up to 7 rides, and that is the benefit of having a rider in form like Woodward. Pawlicki, though, I agree with you, Calvin, looked very good there for his first visit.
Excellent performance from young Pawlicki in second place. Wasn't intimidated by the track at all. He got the bike turned nice and early, looked in complete control. That man did also. The big 3 points go to Woodward. An excellent start for him. But points on the board for Coventry, shared points in heat 2, that's a good one for them.
Absolutely right, and the win for Cameron Woodward. Second place, Piotr Pawlicki. Third is Nick Morris, Timo Lahti at the back. A 3-all, Eagles lead 8 points to 4 after 2 races. There is a debate as to which of the Pawlicki brothers is the better prospect, and Piotr looking good there.
I like the look of him. Brilliant start from Woodward from the inside, turns the bike sharp, keeps it right down narrow. Lahti then tries to get up the inside and follow him through, but he finds the door slammed shut pretty quickly. Got to say that young Pawlicki gets awfully close to Cameron Woodward there. He does remarkably well to hang on, but Woodward out in front. And look very impressive.
He did indeed, and let's get some reaction from the Coventry camp. Alan Rossiter with Chris Louis.
Thanks, Nigel. Yeah, Alan, that's got to have given you some heart, that race, because Piotr Pawlicki must have been a concern first time around this tight Arlington circuit, but he looked pretty comfortable.
I tell you what, he looked more than comfortable, didn't he? I think maybe in the next race he might start moving out and get going, start chasing. And we're very fortunate we got a great young gun in Nick Morris, who's going really good at the moment, as you knew on Thursday at Ipswich. So, yeah, unfortunately I got 2 reserves, so we're going to need it tonight. It's going to be tough, but first one, we knew it was going to be hard, but we'll get back into it.
How much of a problem is the late arrival of the Pawlicki brothers, particularly those, because obviously Piotr's never seen the place before, and you know, bearing in mind that nobody's really had time to give him any advice, he hasn't been able to look at the circuit. Unbelievable stuff.
I know, it just makes it even more amazing how comfortable, how smooth. Most poles that come here look totally out of control and can't even just shut off and give up after 2 laps, as you've seen on telly before, but he looked comfortable. I'm not too worried about him. Szymek's been here before. If he can pop out the start, he can ride the bike, use the throttle. He's very comfortable. He can manoeuvre it on and off. He's not a full throttle merchant. He actually uses the throttle. And around here today, where it's very slick and a little bit grip out on the fence a little bit later, I think he'll need to use that as well.
And should suit Ryan Fisher, obviously used to these small tracks out in California.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, Fisher's always done sort of steady here. He's plugged away. And, you know, and Kenny rode really well here last time. And bearing in mind, he's riding with a broken wrist as well. So, you know, it's all against us, but we've got to keep plugging on.
And we know you will. Thanks, Alan.
Thanks, Chris.
Yeah, there was a question about the availability of the Pawlicki brothers recently, a bit of confusion about dates because there is a hectic international calendar, and initially it looked like they might be banned for 28 days, but it was clarified they were involved in an official fixture, and here they are tonight riding for Coventry, and they are a talent. They're real talented brothers, and that's why Coventry have really pushed the boat out to bring them into British Speedway.
Yeah, we saw Emil Pawlicki last year, of course. He turned up and was certainly riding brilliantly in the grand final against Poland. Pool, they come from Poland, of course. And he was very impressive, certainly at the back end of last year. And just the first race round here from his younger brother, Piotr, he certainly looked very useful indeed.
Now for Eastbourne, Cameron Woodward is going to go out again here in red in place of Lucas Drimmel, who has that leg injury. And if Lucas is watching tonight, we wish you all the very best, Lucas, for a speedy recovery from that broken leg. But it is, as I mentioned during the commentary there, Kelvin, to have a rider who is so powerful at reserve in Cameron Woodward, well, it is such a benefit for the team.
Well, the way with the points limit now, if you can actually manage to have a strong reserve, it will always pay massive dividends. And, you know, Cameron Woodward's been around for a while now. He's 26 years of age, and he's been you know, in and out of the main body of the team. I am surprised he is at reserve because he is better than that, but certainly his pay packet, he won't be worried about that because certainly he's been bolstering that with plenty of rides and plenty of points. Yeah,
and earlier in the season, Lewis Bridger was at reserve for a spell, so they've always had a strong reserve.
Exactly the way the team was built, no matter how the averages worked out, somebody was going to drop down and move up, and hence they've always had a strong reserve because Bridger initially came in with a very low average after a disappointing campaign last year. So yeah, good stuff for them.
And over 2 legs in a playoff, you wouldn't fancy taking on Eastbourne, would you?
No, and the Pool Pirates, who have topped the table prior to the playoffs beginning, have been here twice and have been beaten comfortably twice, so any team coming here are nervous. It is a tight technical track and there is a big home advantage, and yes, you're right, Eastbourne have got a good chance of going all the way this year.
And it is good to see the beauty about Speedway quite often is that a team that struggles one season can bounce back the next.
Oh, well, we've seen it with Pool Pirates. They finished bottom one year and were champions the next. The Eagles haven't been in the playoffs since 2002, and it's refreshing to see another team having a successful campaign. And who knows, they might well be able to pull off a surprise this year and go all the way.
Playoffs get underway next week. We know so far confirmed starters for the playoffs: the Pool Pirates, the Eastbourne Eagles and the Kings Lynn Stars. It's down to Lakeside and Coventry for the final spot. Emil Sayfutdinov watching on. It's part of his education, the young Russian, to ride on tracks like this. He has serious ambitions to become world champion in the future, the youngster, and he's got plenty of time, judging by Thomas Golub and Greg Hancock, the way they've been going the last 2 years. Absolutely. Ryan Fisher goes off the inside in white for Coventry. Going off gate number 2 in blue is Lewis Bridger for the Eagles, a specialist around here. Then it's Emil Pawlicki going off gate 3 in yellow for the Bees. And Cameron Woodward, a race winner in the previous race, he goes off the outside. And quite often when you have been in a previous race, Kelvin, and you're out in the next one, the other riders in this race haven't been out yet. Cameron Woodward will be used to the track and has that advantage.
Oh, clearly, and very much so, because he won his opening ride, so he's going to be full of confidence. Coming from the outside, slightly more difficult coming from there, but keep an eye on that man in the red helmet colour.
Heat number 3 it is then, 8 points to 4 is the scoreline in favour of the Eastbourne Eagles, and away from the start, who is going to emerge? Woodward around the outside, stunning swoop.
Pawlicki all over the place in the first corner, bails off the bike. He's got himself to his feet. Ryan Fisher's up the inside of Lewis Bridger, gets himself into a second place. That was a hard charge from him. Bridger now swaps back to the inside, still second place away. Once again, Woodward's out in front, looking like he can pick up back-to-back wins. But that was a really drama-packed first corner.
Yeah, good ride from Bridger, challenging Fisher there. But what about Woodward in that first turn? Swept around the outside.
Yep.
Good that Pawlicki was able to run after his bike and clear the track to enable the race to continue. No questioning his sporting ability there. The lead is with Cameron Woodward then. Second place Lewis Bridger, third Ryan Fisher, and the Eastbourne Eagles are sitting pretty on a 5-1 here, on the verge of going 13-5 ahead after just 3 races. The home side looking good, and just a week before the playoffs, they are looking to keep the winning form going, and it's so far so good.
Indeed they are, and this reminds me very much of the Coventry Bees last year and how they got on a roll and got all the momentum going with them at the back end of the season, and certainly they went right through the card and picked up the silverware. And Rossiter immediately under pressure, He's been under pressure an awful lot this year, if the truth be known. But Cameron Woodward and Lewis Bridger were terrific there.
Brilliant ride from Woodward, 2 wins out of 2 at reserve. Bridger second place after passing Ryan Fisher, and well done to Shemek Pavlitsky. Done to him for clearing the track.
Yeah.
When his team were 5-1 down in that heat, he's cleared the track, and full credit to him for that.
Yeah, maybe when he gets a bit more experience, he may not do that, but this early stage of his career certainly was prepared to get off the track. Woodward round the outside, Bridges there in second place. Shemek Pavlitsky gets all out of shape and bails off, just escapes crashing into the air fence. Roaring into the first corner once again. There you see Pavlitsky gets far too much lock on there, and then the bike straightens up underneath him, and he has to bail out. Bit of a battle going on for second place initially. Look at that. Pavlitsky getting off the bike. Fisher did get into second place as they completed the first lap, but look at Bridger. Turns back up the inside. Sweet as you like into second place. Good stuff.
Yep, 5-1 then to the Eagles. Reaction comes from Charlie.
Yes, very blustery down the side of the track. Well done, Cameron. Fantastic stuff there. Back-to-back wins for you out on the track. You were just gearing on your teammates there. There seems to be a real spirit of go and get him. Is that true?
Yeah, definitely. We've got our playoff position now, but we all set on the track walk. We still want to keep winning at home and let Paul and everyone know that they don't want to come here.
Do you think there's still a little bit of questions whether the Eagles can match that?
Yeah, obviously, with only 6 riders, it's going to be hard, but I think the management's looking at signing a 7th guy that'll bolster us, and yeah, we can only just do what we can do.
And I know you're missing Lucas Drummer, which is very unfortunate with the rider replacement. However, you've been covering his rides quite a lot, and you've been scoring so many high figures at the moment. Have you actually been, has it been a little bit of a positive maybe in a way? Nothing against Lucas Drummer, but the fact that you can actually go in there and you have been scoring the points at rider replacement?
Yes and no. I think Lucas was doing an awesome job when he's been the best he's been for about 5 years. So I think we're still suffering, but it's good for me doing more races and getting more confidence and being a reserve. But at the same token, we'd much rather have Lucas. He'd be a lot more comfortable.
Thanks, Cameron. Give it up.
Lead 4, Nick Morris goes off the inside in yellow. Timo Lahti for the Eagles off gate 2 in blue. Kenny Larson replaces the banned Edward Kennett off gate 3 in white. And Jonas Kilmacorpy off the outside in red. Kennett, by the way, banned by the Speedway Control Bureau for illegal silencer, but he will be eligible to start next season. So Eddie Kennett will be back in action next March. Heat number 4 and away from the start, and it's a beauty from Nick Morris in yellow. What a start on the inside. Now, can he hold that line? The talented teenager has the lead, and coming around in red is Jonas Kilmacorpy, who will pile the pressure on here. Timo Lahti is the man in blue, and it's Kenny Larson who's trading at the back at the moment with that wrist injury. But what a ride from Nick Morris for the Coventry Bees.
Fabulous stuff from the young 17-year-old Aussie out in front. Fantastic start. Looked like for a minute that Kilmacorpy might be able to squeeze round the outside of him down the back straight on the opening lap. But look at Morris go. He's stretching away. Oh, Lahti all out of shape. Got himself in all sorts of difficulty, and that allowed Kenny Larson up into 3rd place. Lahti now appears to have had a mechanical problem, but Nick Morris out in front is having a great ride.
Yeah, this young man who rides for the Glasgow Tigers in the Premier League, and Glasgow's set to take the Premier League Championship, and he's one of the reasons why. Nick Morris doubling up with the Coventry Bees in the Elite League. An impressive win from the young man who really has made a lot of people sit up and take notice. Commiserations to Timo Lahti.
Wow.
Bike problems there for the Finn in heat
advantage
number 4.
for the Coventry Bees. That's more like it from a confidence-boosting heat advantage. A little bit of good fortune. But that young man there, Nick Morris, every time I see him, I'll tell you what, he keeps impressing me. And at the tender age of 17, he's got a massive future in front of him. I'm sure he's going to be a big star of the future. Excellent ride in Heat 4 for the young man.
Yeah, good stuff then from Nick Morris. Congratulations from Alan Rossiter, the Coventry team manager. Nick Morris, the race winner then. Jonas Kilmacorpy was 2nd for the Eagles. Kenny Larson coming through into 3rd after Timo Lahti suffered bike problems. It's a 4-2 to the Bees, and Eastbourne lead here now by 15 points to 9.
Looking at Timo Lahti in the blue helmet coming out of gate 2, but Nick Morris off the inside hugs that curve around the first corner. Just for a moment I thought Kilmacorpy might get through there, but Morris just had enough momentum to shut the door. close down that back straight. Looking at him again round the inside, allows him to run to mid-track. We're on board going into the first corner with Kenny Larson. He's not quite there with Kilmacorpy on the outside, and Morris, look how tight that was. Kilmacorpy really did have to shut the throttle very quickly, but young Nick Morris out in front. He'll be delighted with the 3 points, and a 4-2 to the Coventry Bees. That's a little bit of confidence, a little bit of on-board stuff again with Larson getting out of shape in front of Kenny Larson. Larson was very lucky to avoid Timo Leite, but Nick Morris will be chuffed to bits with that.
Welcome back to the Arlington Raceway, where the Eastbourne Eagles lead the Coventry Bees by 15 points to 9 in the Elite League Speedway. 4 races gone here on a night where Coventry need to get at least a draw to keep alive their hopes of getting into the playoffs. Nick Morris, the hero of the last race for Coventry, is with Chris Louis.
Thanks, Nigel. Nick, fantastic race win coming off gate 1. I thought you might have to cover the outside, but you just seemed to manage to ride around the middle of the track there and you got it sussed.
Yeah, I thought old mate was going to come around me, but I kind of just ran up to the fence coming out the corner and luckily blocked his run, so yeah, it's all right.
Learning plenty on these Elite League outings, coming to different tracks, but where are you guys coming from? So many young Australians coming over, doing so well.
Oh, it's just because we got junior Speedway in Aussie, and yeah, they start real young and just ride a lot, and yeah.
Seeing someone like Darcy Ward going to his first Grand Prix and putting in such a fantastic performance, making the final, that's got to be some sort of inspiration for you guys, though.
Yeah, it's good. I was watching it and I was proud of him, so yeah, I wouldn't mind being there in a couple of years, so yeah.
I reckon you can, don't you?
Oh, I'll see what happens, I guess.
I'm backing you.
Oh, thanks.
No worries, good luck, thanks.
Thanks, eh?
In number 5, I agree with Chris. I think he's got what it takes to go all the way. That young man, Nick Morris, and Cameron Woodward gets another outing here. This will be his 3rd ride in the first 5 heats for Cameron Woodward, a busy man.
Yep.
As the Eagles lead by 15 points to 9. And here's the lineup. Cameron Woodward off the inside in red. It's Kenny Larson going off gate 2 in yellow, carrying that wrist injury. Lewis Bridger going off gate 3 in blue for the Eagles. And Emil Sayfutdinov, who had that good Grand Prix in Boyens at the weekend, but was on the wrong end of a 5-1 in the opening race of the night. He goes off the outside in white for the Bees.
Yeah, and he's going to need to get a better start this time because the track is a little slicker than normal and passing is very difficult indeed. We're on board, of course, again with Cameron Woodward on the inside. Looking down at the track, going in that rut there to try and get a really good acceleration into that first corner. He's unbeaten so far. Can he make it 3 out of 3? But I sense if Coventry are going to have a chance, their main man there in the white helmet colour, the young sensation, Emil Sayfutdinov, needs to pick up a win here.
Yeah, a bit of pressure on Sayfutdinov off the outside in the white helmet just to keep Coventry in touch here at the Arlington Stadium, and it's a good start again from Woodward in red. Now what can Sayfutdinov do? Driving around the outside, and it's all very close. Oh my goodness me.
Had to squeeze round the outside of Woodward. Woodward very nearly slammed him up against the fence. All sorts of action going down there with Lewis Bridger in turns 3 and 4. But Sayfutdinov showing tremendous courage to fire himself to the front.
Well, it was very, very close to a real confrontation there. A collision was so close, but Sayfutdinov has the lead. And what a ride it was. You've got to pay tribute to him because he just kept it all wound on and blasted his way down the back straight. Wonderful ride from Emil Sayfutdinov. We're on board with the man behind him, Cameron Woodward. Look how close he's getting to his back wheel. Woodward really having a go. Woodward holding the inside line. 3rd in blue is Lewis Bridger. It's a 3-all at the moment. Kenny Larson feeling the pace and is trailing off at the back. But Sayfutdinov is going to get the race win here. And what a ride it was for Coventry from Emil Sayfutdinov. Simply superb.
Unbelievable back straight that was. I didn't think there was room, but he kept the throttle wide open. And Woodward, fair play to Woodward, he just left him just enough room, and I mean just enough. Can't wait to see the replay of it. But Sayfutdinov clearly disappointed after just picking up a point first time out. Comes up with a big 3 points. Unfortunately for Coventry, no heat advantage, but an excellent effort there from Sayfutdinov. That's more like it.
Yeah, brilliant ride down that back straight, and as you said, fair play to Cameron Woodward. He left enough room
just
to allow Sayfutdinov through. Great speedway. Sayfutdinov the winner with Cameron Woodward 2nd. Lewis Bridger was 3rd. It's a 3-all and Eastbourne lead here by 18 points to 12, but Coventry starting to win races now, and that will give them hope and encouragement.
Watch this again. They roar off the start. Woodward on the inside again. Lets the bike run. Oh my goodness, how on earth did Sayfutdinov get round the outside there? Woodward even lifted as well, and he didn't really mean to go as wide as that. We're on board with Woodward now. This is going to be great stuff. No, not on Woodward, sorry. Larson we're having to look at, don't quite, just about get the end of it as they squeeze down that back straight. Kenny Larson has got a grand stage. Look at this. Both riders a little bit out of shape, and the sheer determination there from Sayfutdinov allowed him to get around the outside of Cameron River. Good stuff, fair racing and tough racing, and really exciting stuff.
Charlie's down in the pits with Emil.
Certainly am. Emil, explain to us the first corner, because it was pretty hairy out there.
Yeah, it really was dangerous, but I must win and change sprocket some things, and it was good.
How do you find these tracks? Because I remember when we saw you down here last time, you seemed to struggle. It seems to be a battle, and you have to attack it. Is that right?
When I was here this first time, it was a wet track and grip a little bit. Now it's pretty slick and it's really hard track, but I have a little bit problems with my shoulder. It's really hard. Yeah, I must go. How is his neck?
Is your shoulder still giving you problems then? I know when you first came in, you did move it about a little bit and sort of seemed in a little bit of pain. How is it?
Oh, you know, this track is always must just win and start, and it will be okay. When you lost start, and this problem is always option is.
How difficult is it for you to come back into England in the B's Kevlars when we haven't seen you for a while and come back into the team?
Yeah, it's really difficult because this track is very short and it's very technical, you know. Yeah, for me it's good, and we'll see, you know.
Well done. I know Alan Rossiter is pleased with you. We'll let you get on. Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry, it's in English.
Nick Morris off the inside in white for Coventry. Gate 2 is Bjarne Pedersen in red for Eastbourne. And then it's Piotr Pawlicki for Coventry in yellow, and Simon Gustafsson going off the outside in blue. Should just mention, by the way, that Sayfutdinov rode in the Grand Prix 2 weeks ago in Torun with pain-killing injections in that shoulder. But he really did a magnificent job for his side there. Heat number 6 it is, and it's 18-12 in favour of the home side, and what a start that is from Nick Morris in white, in for Edward Kennan, and he's got the lead here, and he's leading the home number 1, Bjarne Pedersen, who's in the red helmet. Simon Gustafsson is in blue, Piotr Pawlicki is in yellow, but the lead is with Nick Morris. Can he hold out the home number 1?
What a fabulous start once again from Nick Morris.
Pawlicki here
it's
as
out
well.
front, Pawlicki round the outside, he finds himself into 3rd place. The Bees once again are on a heat advantage here, and a surprising one. The youngster from Australia out in front, beating Bjarne Pedersen, who's now a fully fledged Grand Prix rider and stretching away at the front. Excellent effort from the youngster. Pawlicki having a real go in 3rd.
It was a wonderful ride from Pawlicki to get past the man in blue, Simon Gustafsson. He picks his moments superbly and has got a lovely racing style. We're watching Nick Morris up front. Morris has that lead. He is tearing away from Bjarne Pedersen.
Easy.
And full credit to that young man, Nick Morris of the Coventry Bees. Takes the checkered flag. He won heat number 4, he's won heat number 6, and already he's got 7 plus 1 bonus point from 3 rides.
Fantastic. What a night of Speedway he's enjoying so far, and there's going to be more to come. He's going to be a busy boy tonight, that's for sure. But with starts like that and showing great composure out in front of a much more experienced boy behind him, that was an excellent ride. Back-to-back wins for the youngster. He's keeping the Coventry Bees in with a shout.
And full credit to Piotr Pawlicki for the way that he passed Simon Gustafsson there as well. This is a real determined display by Coventry. Nick Morris the winner, Bjarne Pedersen was 2nd, Piotr Pawlicki was 3rd, Simon Gustafsson at the back. It's a 4-2 to the Bees. Look how close that scoreline is now. Eastbourne 20, Coventry 16.
The tapes are up and away they go into the first corner. Morris lifts off the first into the first turn. Bjarne Pedersen there looking for a way through, can't get there. Brilliant first corner, perfect first corner from Morris. You've got to say that Simon Gustafsson's in there in 3rd place at this early stage. But Pawlicki, roaring round the outside, surges into 3rd place. An excellent effort from him. But so far, the star of the night, without question, has been Nick Morris. Excellent performance once again.
Nick Morris, 2 wins from his last 2 rides. And a high five with Alan Rossiter, who's with Chris Louis.
Yeah, let's find out what Alan thinks about these guys. Alan, you've got to be so proud. I mean, you've got such a young team, and it's those guys that are grabbing those vital points, giving you the heat advantages. Nick Morris with a great win there, and Piotr, he's never seen the place before, almost beats Bjarne Pedersen, but those 2 guys, their combined age is only the same as Bjarne Pedersen. It's fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, we're always looking for the younger guys to come through, and because they're the ones, as being an old rider myself, you kind of know that when you come into the end, you know, the promoters don't really want the old boys. They want to look for the young boys coming through, and we're constantly looking for the youngsters. I mean, Piotr's got a great future. Just won the Polish Championship, but my only concern is all these Polish national championships. But Nick, got no worries about that. Got to talk to Mr. Dixon nicely in the winter by the looks on it.
One or two people have questioned Emil Sayfutdinov's commitment to the club, but just watching that first turn around the outside of Cameron Woodward, that was pretty committed.
Yeah, he's been brilliant, you know. People, you know, we all know what riders do with a Grand Prix. They're going to put the Grand Prix for. It's just a fact of life. We know that if they're not quite 100%, they're going to protect themselves for the Grand Prix. I know it's not right on the home fans. What else can we do? There's not a lot out there. We've been trying to get a replacement for Edwin. It's just nobody there at the moment, I'm afraid.
Great stuff. Thanks, Alan.
Cheers.
Well, when Alan Rossiter said, I've got to have a nice word with Mr. Dixon, that's Stuart Dixon, the Glasgow co-promoter, who's alongside Alan Dick at the Ashfield Stadium. They're on the verge of winning the Premier League Championship. And from what Alan was suggesting there, he may well be putting in a bid for Nick Morris to Glasgow for next season. Or will Nick Morris be happy for another season in the Premier League, I wonder?
I suggest the price is going up a wee bit on the evidence of tonight.
Tell him to slow down.
Exactly.
Kel McCorpy off the inside in red for Eastbourne. Gate 2 in white is Ryan Fisher for Coventry. Timo Lahti comes in as a reserve substitution for Cameron Woodward to take his 3rd ride here. This might be the last time we see Lahti tonight. And off the outside is Przemysław Pawlicki for heat number 7. When I say we may see for the last time Lahti here,
yeah,
but they have got a heavy workload with rider replacement tonight, so maybe not.
Yeah, there's potential you'll see him, but Przemysław Pawlicki, we've got to report back that one of the reason he crashed in his first one is he didn't have his steel shoe on. The steel shoe is what goes on your left foot and allows your left foot to slide across the surface. Clearly, the rubber gripped the surface. He got it out of control and crashed.
Well, he only arrived here at 7:20 and forgot to put his steel shoe on.
Yeah.
Now, heat number 7 into the first turn. Oh, it's an awkward one for Pawlicki.
He's having a nightmare.
Yeah, second ride on the trot, he's fallen.
Got clipped going in the first corner. His front wheel was taken away. His steel shoe is there off his left boot. That got ripped off in the accident. He's sort of got swung round, pirouetted round violently. There it is. Clearly the strap has been ripped apart, but Pawlicki has fallen awkwardly and is now receiving some attention.
Yeah, it was an awkward landing, and you could tell that he was in a lot of discomfort from the moment that he hit the deck. And let's hope that he's going to be up and about very shortly, Przemek Pawlicki, because that was a nasty landing indeed. One of those first turn incidents. And,
they all got there together. It often happens here. It's a very claustrophobic start line, and you roar into the first corner. It was 4 abreast, and as they swing into the first turn, the back wheels swing out. Unfortunately for Pawlicki, his front wheel just gets taken from underneath him, and he went down awkwardly, as you said, Nigel.
Needing quite a bit of treatment here, Przemek Pawlicki. Let's wish him all the very best. We saw a nasty one last week at Kings Lynn with Cozza Smith, who dislocated a shoulder. And Przemek Pawlicki sitting up a little bit gingerly, watched by Colin Pratt, the Coventry co-promoter there, who's put in terrific service for the sport down the years. Let's hope that Przemek Pawlicki there in yellow will be up and about and able to take his place in the lineup. Let's see it again, Kelvin.
Yeah, but they all get their level peggings, and he looks for a turn back, but he has, unfortunately, he hasn't allowed the rider on the inside of him to clear him. Timo Lahti there's made a half-sensible start. He looks to turn to the inside, but as he does it, Timo Lahti can't do anything about it because the 2 riders on the underneath inside of him are there. You know, they've all got there together. Pawlicki's looked to turn to the inside, but as he's done so, his front wheel has been whipped from underneath him, and he's fallen awkwardly. But he's up and about, which is good news.
Well, we're going to take a break right now before we have to restart off heat number 7. Let's hope that Pawlicki is going to be okay. Welcome back to the Arlington Stadium here in deepest Sussex. The Eastbourne Eagles lead Coventry Bees by 20 points to 16 on a night where Coventry need to at least get a draw, really, to stand any chance of getting into the playoffs. Yes, Coventry needing 2 points for an away draw here tonight. Then they have Kings Lynn at home on Thursday. 5 points would then take them above Lakeside. Lakeside's points difference is far superior, so even if Coventry were to lose by 6 or less tonight, they would get a league point, but then they would have to absolutely demolish Kings Lynn at Brandon on Thursday. So a draw really is the minimum requirement where Coventry are concerned tonight. But we've just seen a crash. We will be on with the restart of heat number 7. And Coventry's Przemek Pawlicki came to grief at the start of heat number 7, and he really has had a rough and ready night so far tonight, Kelvin.
Yeah, he hasn't managed to actually complete the first corner, let alone a lap tonight. Failed to put on his steel shoe first time out. Mistimes his move there. He looks to turn to the inside, but just turned a little bit too early, or made the decision too late. One of those two. Could have been excluded for that, because he was at fault for not making the decision at the right time, but the referee has put all 4 back, so a bit of good fortune there. And Przemysław Pawlicki will be keeping his fingers crossed that he can actually complete at least a lap here.
Just to confirm that Paul Carrington, the referee, has put all 4 riders back in for the restart. The 2 minutes time allowance has just come on, so he's got 2 minutes to be at the start and ready for action. Yeah. And Coventry really having a go here, but you have to ask now, Przemek Pawlicki, who was a late arrival here, 20 past 7 with his brother, has had a nightmare. His confidence will be battered here, Pawlicki, now, and it's a real test of character for him to go out again in Heat 7.
It is, and he's up against Jonas Kilmacorby. Timo Lati, you would fancy he could get the better of that, but he needs to show some character, certainly, because he's bit the dust twice so far. He's coming from the outside, and if you want to make a turn back to the outside here, you've got to make the decision very early. It's a short run to the first corner. He allowed himself to get too committed before turning back, and then he got his front wheel whipped from underneath him. We're looking at Ryan Fisher there, just preparing himself for the restaging of Heat 7. He's a hard charger. He doesn't take any prisoners out there, and he'll be looking to get amongst the points. And if he does start getting amongst the points, then Coventry will have a major something to say here this evening, Nigel, because they're only 4 points down, and largely because of Nick Morris, if the truth be known.
If they were, as things stand, if they were to lose by 4 tonight, they would get 1 point to their league tally. They would then need to win their home meeting by more than 6 on Thursday against Kings Lynn, and they would need to win it by a large margin. They'd need to win it by well over 20 points, and Kings Lynn don't lose by more than 20 anywhere. Edward Kennett, the rider who is banned at the moment for using an illegal silencer, he's in the pits tonight. Trevor Gear, the Eastbourne team manager, who's enjoyed his Speedway this year, and why not when he's in charge of a winning team. But he knows he's got a tough old task on his hands tonight with the Coventry Bees pushing his Eastbourne Eagles. Here we go with the restart of heat number 7. Jonas Kilmacorby off the inside in red for the Eagles. Gate 2 is Ryan Fisher for the Coventry Bees. Gate 3, Timo Lati for Eastbourne. And going off the outside is Przemysław Pawlicki, looking to complete a race. Crashed twice already tonight. And this is heat number 7. Restart with Paul Carrington in charge as referee tonight. 20 points to 16 then. Eastbourne Eagles lead. Jonas Kilmacorby ready to race.
Yeah.
Off the inside in red. An important race you feel here. Eastbourne boys watching on, desperate to see their side gain an advantage here and stem this Coventry tide of race winners. Into the first turn, it's a good one for Kilmacorby, and Pawlicki comes around the outside of Lati. It's a 3-all, and Pawlicki working hard here, but the lead is with Jonas Kilmacorby and Lati now, putting Ryan Fisher under pressure. Here comes Timo Lati up the inside into 3rd place, and Eagles on a 4-2 now. Fisher going wide, and it's gone down.
Down goes Ryan Fisher. Little bit of contact between him and Timo Lati. Timo Lati did remarkably well to get up the inside of him coming out of turn 4. Ryan Fisher there just buried underneath the air fence, drags his motorbike out. But Timo Lati did remarkably well there. He did a great turn down the bottom, and as he came out of turn 4 on the opening lap, got up the inside, Fisher wasn't going to shut the throttle and allow him through, kept it on wide open, and then slipped off the bike. I suggest that was Ryan Fisher really will be excluded there, I think. Just needed to actually concede there because Timo Lati had the run on him.
Here we see it again, Kelvin. We're watching for Fisher in white, who is the man who's gone down here. Is there any contact there? You could argue the leg has gone. His left leg has been taken. Larty had the lead. Fisher comes down. Which way will the referee go here?
Well, there is a little bit of contact there. It is rubbing there, but he then comes away from him and then slips off the bike. Timo Larty had just got himself into third place, and Ryan Fisher tried to respond, and finally, with that little bit of contact, slips off the motorbike.
Well, still waiting for confirmation of the decision from the referee.
No exclusion light on yet.
There is now. Yep, Ryan Fisher is out.
Yep.
So the referee deciding that Ryan Fisher was at fault there in heat number 7. He'll be angry with that. It is a blow for the Bees without a doubt.
Yeah, because he was looking to try and hang on to third place, or recapture third place from Timo Larty, who'd got up the inside, but unfortunately he was in a very vulnerable position coming into turn 1 for the second time. A little bit of contact on his leg. Looks like he's accepted it. Oh, maybe he's just finding out now. He's just found out that he's excluded and probably is not best pleased about it.
I'm sure Alan Rossiter, the team manager, will have something to say about it as well. We see it again. Perfect angle this. There is definitely contact there on Fisher's left leg, but he's still on the bike there until he has to put it down, or does he have to put it down? That's the decision that the referee has had to make. There's contact, but he's still on the bike there, and now he goes down. So has he crashed as a consequence of the contact, Kelvin?
Just have a look at it there. There's contact there. He lifts his leg. He obviously can feel it rubbing against him. He then comes away from it, and now he slips off the bike. And unfortunately, if he had gone down immediately, there was contact, then there was probably a chance for him to get, it would go the other way. Timo Larty had ridden a very good turn 4 and just got his nose in front of Ryan Fisher.
Well, let's hear from Charlie and Alan Rossiter.
Yeah, I'm right in the middle of the Coventry Bees pits at the moment, in the thick of things. It's not a great atmosphere. I'll see if we can get some reaction from Alan Rossiter. Alan, I know you're not a very happy man, neither is Ryan Fisher, but you've just been on the phone to the referee. Can you tell us what you said to him and your point of view, please?
Well, I mean, you know, it was a hard corner, but the problem is it's so slick out there, and when you get pushed and skidded across the corner, and you can quite clearly see he had his left leg taken away. And the riders going into the corner, a lot of them use their leg, and it's just like knocking them straight off balance. And, you know, that's the problem, and that's what he's done. He's lost his balance, he's tried to catch it back, and he's had once, and then he's gone again. And he's just skidded across an ice rink, and everybody's waiting to go across the slick stuff, and waiting for the build-up on the fence to stand them up. But he just went straight across it, but he said that he was happy with the decision, but I take Ryan ain't happy. I'm certainly ain't happy.
Yeah, no, we can see that down here. There was almost an argument, though, that Shemek could have got disqualified from the previous run. Do you think so?
Yeah, not really. Quite clearly see he had his front wheel taken away. You know, that's the thing, you know. No different having Ryan having his leg taken away. So, you know, we've got to move on. The end of the day, it's gone, but we just got to be hard and be a bit harder and start, you know, maybe dishing it back a bit.
And obviously we've seen how hard it is out there. You're talking about how slick it is. Tell us a bit about the Pawlicki brothers, because Shemek seems to be struggling and not enjoying it out there almost. Has it knocked his confidence, or can he go out there and do something special?
Obviously he got here late, so he's a little bit on a bit of a panic side, but and obviously it didn't go his way in the first race. He didn't go out with the steel shoe on, that's why he fell off. And then obviously, you know, he got in a bit of a tangle and he's gone down quite hard. But he's got up that well there, and he sort of got back on it, and he was in second place, looking quite comfortable. So hopefully he should start kicking on now, and with a bit of luck, we will too.
Well, thanks. Let's go into the next seat then. Thank you.
Well, Shemek Pawlicki has gone back to the pits, and the 2 minutes is well and truly on, and it's the steel shoe that's causing problems again here, Kelvin.
I've never known so much trouble with the steel shoe, to be perfectly honest. You have your own steel shoe and it fits on, but clearly it got ripped off in the second time out, and he's roaring out there, and he has had a difficult night, but yeah, certainly his confidence would have been knocked when he hit the first turn and he put his foot down and there wasn't a shoe on, and his left leg literally got ripped right round behind him and he fell down. But I disagree with Alan Rossiter. I think he did make a poor decision in the initial staging of this race to actually get knocked off, and he could have been excluded for that, particularly at this tight track. But now we're down to 3.
And it's Jonas Kilmacolby off the inside for Eastbourne. No rider off gate 2. Ryan Fisher excluded. Timo Larty for Eastbourne off gate 3 in blue. And all the pressure now for Coventry on Shemek Pawlicki in the yellow helmet colour.
Yeah,
off the outside. Heat number 7, only 4 points separate the sides. but Coventry only have one rider in this race now.
What a good race for him to win. Certainly if he won this, he'd be feeling a lot better about Eastbourne, that's for sure. So he needs to come up with a dynamite start. Alan Rossiter keenly looking on, wishing him the best.
Well, Roscoe's boys have done him proud tonight, but this is a tough race for Pawlicki, and he has missed that start. The lead now here in the red helmet colour is Eunice Kilmacorpy. Larty's with him, bit of team riding needed here by the Eagles duo of Kilmacorpy and Larty. Pawlicki a little bit off the pace at the moment, but you can be sure that these two boys will go round and will look after each other. Larty looking good, Kilmacorpy holding the high line around the outside, and in the turns Larty holds the inside, and Pawlicki unable to make an impression.
I'll tell you what, Nigel, Timo Larty's not making it easy for Eunice Kilmacorpy. He's going so fast around the inside. Kilmacorpy desperately trying to get his nose in front. Larty hasn't looked once for his teammate. Really is riding his own race out in front. Pawlicki just can't quite get amongst the action. Still Kilmacorpy's roaring around the outside and can't quite get there. I sense they're going to pick up a 5-1. Will he get by now? They're level. Finally going around the last corner, I think Kilmacorpy might get there.
Well, it's a 5-1 for Eastbourne. Larty and Kilmacorpy, not exactly a perfect display of team riding, but in Larty's defence, he's not used to being up front and looking over his shoulder. He's had a torrid old time here for the Eastbourne Eagles, but the home fans are really appreciative of that, because it doesn't happen very often when this boy wins a race. He's stuck at it. The club have stayed loyal to him. They have been able to because they've had a strong reserve, as I've said. But look what it means to Timo Larty. And if he's on form, they are going to take some stopping in the playoffs. There's no doubt about that.
Well, the two Finnish boys there didn't have the best of understanding out there. Timo Larty was just powering away at the front, but on the run to the line. Which way does it go?
Doesn't matter really, does
Timo
it?
Larty, I guess just the way they want to call it. But yes, it's 5 points to the home team, Nigel, dead right. 25-17. But Timo Larty, after failing to score in his first two outings, chuffed to bits to pick up the win there.
And Eunice Kilmacorpy gets paid for a win, because if you're new to Speedway in team
racing... He certainly earned it, didn't he?
Yeah,
he went a lot further than Timo Larty, didn't he?
If you're new to Speedway team racing, if you finish behind your partner, you get paid for the win. If you finish second behind your partner who wins the race, you get paid for the win. So Kilmacorpy gets 2 + 1 bonus points. Przemek Pawlicki was third, 5-1 to Eastbourne, who lead now by 25 points to 17.
Yeah, Pawlicki on the outside nearly did it again there. Very nearly clouted the back wheel of Timo Larty. Larty goes right round the inside and finds himself in front. Not a feeling he's that accustomed to this year. And certainly he then put his head down and did a great job. You know, Eunice Kilmacorpy was roaring around the outside trying to get there with him, but Timo Larty just kept his head down, managed to pick up the 3 points, and is feeling an awful lot better about things right now.
Well, coming up in heat number 8, we're getting straight on with it because we are a little bit behind with time tonight after the delayed start because of the accident on the motorway and the late arrival of riders, and also a couple of crashes that have put us behind schedule tonight, so we are cracking on with it. And we're straight on with heat number 8. Kenny Larson in white, Simon Gustafsson in red, and Cameron Woodward again is out here. He comes in for Timo Larty in blue, so Trevor Gear really juggling his reserve and substitutions, and Woodward goes in blue. But Nick Morris, the brilliant Nick Morris, is in yellow, and can he keep it going for Coventry?
Certainly Alan Rossiter will be hoping so, but Woodward has got the inside gate again, Nigel, and he's been going really well from that position.
He's off the inside in blue then. Gate 2 in yellow is Nick Morris, who's got 2 wins on the trot. Simon Gustafsson goes off gate 3 in red, and Kenny Larson is the rider in the outside in the white helmet colour. Only 1 point so far for Kenny Larson. It's understandable with the wrist injury that he's carrying.
Finding it difficult tonight, there's no question about that. You sense that the wrist injury will be making an impact. But yeah, gates 4 and 1, certainly 1 and 4 have been working well. Gate 2, where Nick Morris is, he won't want to see that stat, will he? Because he's nobody's managed to win a race from there so far, but who knows, the youngster might be able to pull something out of the bag, but it won't be easy because Cameron Woodward is a man full of confidence.
Well, even if he did see the stat, he wouldn't care, would he? He's a young teenager who just wants to ride the bike, and it's great to see. We're on board with Cameron Woodward in the blue helmet colour, and heat number 8 it is. Can the Bees bounce back, or will the Eagles pile on the pressure? A night where Coventry really need to draw or better tonight here, but it's a tough place to come and get a result. The Arlington Stadium the home of the Eastbourne Eagles, who have been a powerhouse side right from the start of the season. And into that first turn, Woodward's made a good one again. Cameron Woodward in blue and coming around in red.
Morris on
the inside, oh my word!
He's done it! He's got himself to the front. Woodward round the outside now, off the air fence, down the back straight, the start finish straight. Woodward just gets his nose in front. Brilliant up and left and Speedway there. They roar into the first corner for the second time. Kenny Larson now up the inside into third place. Terrific lap of Speedway.
It was, and Kenny Larson really working overtime. And as it stands, it's a 3-all. The lead is with Cameron Woodward. I'll tell you what, he's riding Nick Morris, and he won't have had to work any harder against any world-class rider around Arlington this season. And he has that lead. He goes wide. Morris is holding the inside line. Good Speedway here at Arlington. Into the last lap of heat number 8. Cameron Woodward has the lead, and he's only dropped 1 point so far. And there's a battle for third as well, because the man coming around the outside in red is Simon Gustafsson. Down to the line, the win is going to be Cameron Woodward's, and Coventry hang on for a 3-all. But that was a super Speedway race between Cameron Woodward and Nick Morris.
Fabulous opening lap there. Nick Morris rode a really good tight line, got himself to the front down the back straight. Really brave performance from both riders, but you have to say then Woodward responded by roaring around the outside, and as they started the second lap, going into the first turn for the second time, just got his nose in front. But Morris kept the pressure on throughout the race, and Woodward just held on out in front. But the first lap and a half was out of the top draw.
What a race that was, and Cameron Woodward now has scored 11 points out of a possible 12. He can still have 3 more rides. As a reserve, you are entitled to 7 rides in a team event. Cameron Woodward the winner, Nick Morris second, Kenny Larson was third. It's a 3-all, 8 races gone now. Eastbourne lead Coventry by 28 points to 20, and it's a good Speedway meeting here.
Watch Nick Morris. He allows Woodward to get to the first corner. He tucks right up underneath him and gets on that fresh material coming out of turn 2, clouts him down the back straight, takes no prisoners going into turn 3, turns the bike inside out, gets off the corner, and Woodward then just about gets to the front. This is going down the back straight for the first time. They're leaning all over each other. Nick Morris hanging off the side of the bike, his helmet nearly touching the ground. Larson, we're on board with him. Look at the two boys leaning all over each other. Into turn 3 on the opening lap for the first time. But Woodward then just about gets a run on him. Great Speedway, terrific stuff. Woodward comes out in front, but I tell you what, Nick Morris made him work awfully hard for it.
Reaction comes from Chris Louis.
Thanks, Nigel. Cameron, 11 points from 4 rides, but young Nick Morris there really made you work for that one down the back straight.
Yeah, the kid's going awesome. He come here 10 days ago and he kept me honest then, and he hasn't changed tonight. I wish he'd slow down a bit. It
must have surprised you, though, because he'd actually made a great cutback. You would have expected him perhaps to be chasing around the outside, and there he was looking up the inside.
Yeah, no, I knew exactly where he was. I just had to hit the dirt. The first corner, I panicked and went in too tight and then couldn't cover the inside, and he come ploughing through. But fair play to him, he didn't put me in the fence, and we both lived to fight another day.
Trump card at reserve, but that really means most of the time you're racing seven times in an evening. How tough is that?
It's pretty tough. It's tough on the mechanics that they're earning their keep at the moment. So I'll take it as it comes, because as you know, the more races you get in, the more confidence you got. And I'm riding in Poland a bit more now, and the confidence has come back again. So it's nice.
Great stuff. When I come in.
Yes.
Yeah, heat number 9. It's playoff time in Poland as well right now. The playoffs in full swing in the Polish League, as well as we start here in the UK in the Elite League next Monday. In the playoffs, can Coventry get there, or will Lakeside be the 4th team to be confirmed tonight? We could well be knowing the full 4 teams tonight here. Lewis Bridger goes off the inside in blue. Emil Sayfutdinov comes in for Eddie Kennett as the rider replacement in white. Timo Larty goes off gate 3 in red. He's in for Lucas Drimmel as rider replacement. And Piotr Pawlicki, he goes off the outside for Coventry. Once again, Coventry need Sayfutdinov to deliver the goods. And can that young man do the business as well? 2 exciting young talents for the Coventry Bees here, up against Larty and Bridger in heat number 9. And it's a good start from Bridger in red. But what about Larty and down? Again, well, I say again, it's a Pawlicki boy that goes down. It's Piotr this time. And he looks in a bit of discomfort there. That first turn is causing problems here. And, well...
Certainly is. Lewis Bridger made a good start from the inside, but again, the rider on the outside finding it difficult and getting shut out, and as he wants to turn, his front wheel's been hooked away from him. A heavy landing for the younger of the two Pawlicki brothers that time. He really did get slammed into the track. Oil was spewing out of the bottom of his bike, so I'm sure the mechanics are going to have to do some work on that one, but certainly his brother now coming over just to see how he is. It was a heavy fall, Nigel.
Yeah, very uncomfortable looking tumble. And
the trouble is, Nigel, sorry to cut across here, it's quite, it's very tight here going into the first corner. And when they all get there together, the rider on the outside, quite often the rear wheel of the rider in gate 3 will wipe out the front wheel of the rider in gate 4, and we've seen it twice now this evening. And I suspect if the referee's consistent, we'll see all 4 back, because Pawlicki's up. He's up. That's good news.
Good news. Yeah. All 4 back for the restart of heat number 9, and that is the right decision when you talk about consistency of refereeing. But both those boys have come down in that first turn tonight.
Yeah, we're looking at Sayfutdinov. There we go into the first corner. Timo Lahti, once again, the rider that has contact with the rider on the outside. Pawlicki there, they're all level pegging, they all get there together. There just isn't enough room for him to turn the bike. It's the nature of the track, it's a characteristic of this tight technical track at Arlington. He can't get across, he's too committed to turn back, just runs out of room. And the domino effect clearly shown there, so no surprise to see them all 4 back.
So confirmation that it is all 4 back. We have now had that confirmed, that all 4 riders will be back for the restart.
In your mind here, when I used to ride here when I was on gate 4, you have to actually either make an absolutely dynamite start, get across the guy on gate 3, and then make a decision, or if you don't fire out, you have to almost make the immediate decision to tuck back to the inside and try and pick up some pieces coming out of the first corner.
There's a massive home track advantage on tracks like this. It is unique, and there is a home track advantage for the Eagles. And down the years, we've seen riders here like Martin Dugard, Dean Barker, David Norris. They made this track their own, and they were virtually unbeatable, weren't they?
They were indeed. We saw young Nick Morris turn back, but he was coming out of gate 2, so not quite such a tall order for him. But there you just saw it. He was trying to get there, but because the track's narrow and there isn't much room, you just find yourself being clouted and down you go. As I said before, it's not easy, and it's something that this young man will learn from. Part of the EASTBOURNE experience, unfortunately.
Yeah, and it's one of the reasons why these riders want to come to Great Britain to ride in British Speedway. Sayfutdinov, the Pawlickis, they all want to come here because there's a variation of tracks like no other country in the UK.
Exactly that, and that sort of decision-making process, you do make it, but you don't have to make it so quickly. In Poland, for example, you've got so much more room and more time before you get to the first corner. So young Piotr Pawlicki, he's had a pretty solid night. You know, he's been scoring points, and that's to his credit, because I know plenty of riders that have come here for the first time and failed to score. So enthusiasm, he's obviously clearly motivated, and he'll be looking forward to the rerun.
Yeah, and Timo Lahti has had a busy night tonight as well. He had that win last time out. He'll be out for the restart. They are allowing a little bit of extra time for the riders to get set for the rerun. Emil Sayfutdinov will be out in white once again.
Timo Lahti won't be on the Pawlicki's Christmas card list, will he? Because unfortunately both the brothers have been involved in incidents with that man. No fault of his own. He's been coming out of gate 3, and because the 2 boys on the inside of him, he hasn't had any room to manoeuvre either, so it's just got awfully tight, and the boy on the outside's come off second best both times. But it's a tight match, but you have to say that Coventry do need now to consolidate. They need to keep trying to claw into this meeting. Sayfutdinov really coming in here for Edward Kennett. He's the key man. He really has got to win another race right now.
That's heat number 9 then. Sayfutdinov going, as we say, for Kennett in the white helmet colour. That's heat 9. Let's take a look at heat number 10. Heat number 10 line up for you. So Bjarne Pedersen goes in red, Simon Gustafsson goes in blue, and then you've got Ryan Fisher in white and Przemek Pawlicki in yellow. Simon Gustafsson has surprised me with 2 last places tonight. He's better than that round here. Yeah,
he started with a useful paid win, didn't he, in his opening ride, but then subsequently got past quite comfortably, so clearly off the pace. Heat 10, I sense that Pawlicki and Fisher have both been off the bike tonight. They'll have a point to prove it, as it were. And I keep saying it, but if Coventry are going to get anything out of this meeting, riders like Fisher and Pawlicki have got to come good. Heat 11, Woodward, well, he's on fire tonight. Kilmacorp is looking pretty good. Sayfutdinov, of course, will have 2 races on the spin. And it's going to need him to now find the form. Really needs to find a couple of starts on this tight track.
A big ask for the Coventry Bees, but there is time. We've only had 8 of the 15 heats, so still plenty of time for Coventry to claw this back. If you've just joined us tonight, it's the race for the playoffs. Eastbourne are already there. Coventry realistically need to draw or better tonight here at Eastbourne, because if they only get a point for losing by 6 or less, then it leaves them with a mammoth task of absolutely demolishing Kings Lynn on Thursday at Brandon.
And I think that, you know, Kings Lynn are a decent outfit.
They're in the playoffs.
Exactly that, so I can't see that happening. And, you know, you could see Coventry winning the meeting, but certainly not by 30 points.
That's on Thursday night at Brandon, and heat number 9 is coming up. Emil Sayfutdinov for his 3rd appearance of the night here, and Timo Lahti going in red. Should mention as well, there's a very strong breeze here around the Arlington Stadium.
Yeah, it is.
In fact, Peterborough's meeting tonight against Swindon has been called off because of a heavy breeze, which has caused a couple of roof tiles to come off the main stand at the East of England Showground and onto the Speedway track.
Very open there, isn't it?
Yeah, so strong winds have called that meeting off at Peterborough tonight. Heat number 9. It's 28-20, Eastbourne Eagles lead. We know that the Poole Pirates, the Eastbourne Eagles and the Kings Lynn Stars are already in the playoffs. Will it be Lakeside or will it be Coventry who complete the 4 teams in the playoffs? Lewis Bridger goes off the inside in blue. Emil Sayfutdinov off gate 2 in white. Timo Lahti gate 3 red for Eastbourne. And going off the outside, Piotr Pawlicki, who took that tumble just a few moments ago. He goes off the outside in the yellow helmet colour. We await the green light from the referee as Bjarne Pedersen watches on in the pits there from the Eastbourne Eagles, and away from the start. A good one from Sayfutdinov. Switches up the inside. What can Pawlicki do as the Eagles hold 2nd and 3rd right now? When the man in blue charging hard, Lewis Bridger challenging Emil Sayfutdinov. Lahti is 3rd. They're on a 3-all at the moment. Pawlicki is going to come hard and challenge Timo Lahti, but Sayfutdinov has the lead.
Fantastic start out of gate 2 from Emil Sayfutdinov. Just for a moment, I thought that Lewis Bridger was going to be able to get up the inside and power to the front, but just at the last moment, Sayfutdinov wound it on. Sayfutdinov out in front, Lewis Bridger. Oh my goodness gracious me, how on earth did he stay on? He was going backwards, Nigel.
Absolutely.
Going into the first corner for the 2nd time. Pawlicki's out the back, but Sayfutdinov still being chased hard by Lewis Bridger.
Oh, he's looking brilliant here, isn't he, Emil Sayfutdinov? World class, absolutely. Bridger almost got off the bike, absolutely right. It was amazing the way he stayed on it, but Sayfutdinov is on his way to a 2nd successive win. But it's only a 3-all for Coventry. They don't make any inroads, and still Eastbourne lead by 8 points here. That will do them nicely. Coventry need to do better than that. And Piotr Pawlicki trailing at the back. But what a fine ride that was from Sayfutdinov, because Bridger was all over him early on.
He was, and coming out of the first corner, I thought Lewis Bridger might actually hit him. He was lifting and getting so much grip on the inside. Bridger then remarkably stayed upright when he was going backwards into the first corner for the 2nd time. Can't wait to see that again. Sayfutdinov out in front, though. That was a classy performance.
Sayfutdinov the winner, Lewis Bridger was 2nd. Timo Lahti scoring some vital points for his team was 3rd. Piotr Pawlicki trailing at the back. A 3-all then. Eastbourne Eagles 31, Coventry Bees 23. 9 of the 15 heats have gone now.
Well, gate 2 hasn't been working very well tonight so far, but I tell you what, Emil Sayfutdinov makes light of that. As they come out of the first corner there, that was the moment when I thought Lewis Bridger might be able to get to the front, but just to halfway down the back straight, he gets right on the inside there. There's obviously loads of grip there, but he's just not there, and Sayfutdinov has the momentum. Watch this. He's going backwards. How on earth did he stay upright there? Got to be a certain amount of good fortune involved in that. I know I would have come off. No question about it. Look at that, he's facing the wrong way. But unbelievable stuff. He manages to keep going and secure 2nd place. Sayfutdinov was terrific there.
Yeah, good stuff. Let's hear from Lewis Bridger with Chris.
Yeah, thanks. I got the all-action Lewis Bridger with me. Lewis, you drove off turn 1. I thought you were going to get up the inside of Emil coming down this home straight. But then you found reverse in one corner there.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. I mean, the track's been a little bit up and down lately. We had a really wet meeting last time, obviously on Sky against Coventry, and we laid down a lot of sawdust, and it ruined our home track for 3 weeks. And I ended up making an engine even stronger because the track was so patchy and stuff, you know. And now we're back to it how it is now, and it's pretty slick. So I'm not quite getting out the starts like I'd like to, but you know, I'm just going to keep plugging away. It's a shame. Now I'd like to get one over Emil around here.
Yeah, I'm sure you would. How tricky is it out there with it being so slick coming into the corners, though? Because you have to turn so hard here, and when you do that and you lose traction, we saw what can happen.
Yeah, well, that's it, you know. Like, normally it's got a little bit more, you know, it's slick going down the entrance, but if you get it turned in the middle, you've normally got a little bit to hold you up and to, you know, keep the bike going forward instead of going in reverse. And seems to be you just need a trap. You know, it's turning into a lakeside, so hopefully Bob can do something towards the end of the meeting and we can, you know, start riding a little bit better.
Thanks, Lewis.
Cheers.
You know, Lewis Bridger defied the laws of physics there, you know. Can't do that sort of thing.
Well, he does it quite often, actually. I've seen him do it before, Bridger. Here's the lineup. Nick Morris going in yellow off gate 2, replaces Przemek Pawlicki in this one. So heat number 10, Simon Gustafsson off the inside in blue. Nick Morris goes off gate 2 in yellow. Gate 3 is Bjarne Pedersen for Eastbourne. And Ryan Fisher, who's had a miserable night so far, 1 point from 2 rides. He goes off the outside in the white helmet colour. Now, Coventry under pressure to
well, it could be tactical time, couldn't it, soon? Yeah. Because Bjarne Pedersen's no mean man round here. Gustafsson's struggling, but Nick Morris has been a superstar so far tonight. Look at that, that's a great
9 paid 10.
9 paid 10, that's fantastic stuff from him. Can he beat Bjarne Pedersen again?
Well, heat number 10, we're about to find out. If you've just joined us tonight, Coventry Bees realistically, not mathematically, but realistically, I'd say, need to draw this meeting at least to get 2 league points to maintain their hopes of the playoffs. If they lose by 6 or less and get a point, it's an uphill struggle. He knows it. Alan Rossiter, Colin Pett alongside him, the co-promoter at Coventry Speedway. Heat number 10 it is. Can the Bees peg it back here? What can Nick Morris do in the yellow? Oh, he's gone down already in the early stages of that one, and he didn't even get to the first turn, and the red lights came on straight away. Bit of damage to the bike there as well. The clutch
lever just being bashed up. He's just bashing it back down again. He was climbing all over Simon Gustafsson coming out of gate 1. He was getting squeezed as well because Pedersen had made a decent start from gate 3. We'll see it again. Away they go. He just lifts there and he's out of control a little bit, and Simon Gustafsson's coming across and they all get hooked up. Footrest in the front wheel a little bit, and that slows the bike down and he gets thrown forward and he goes down quite awkwardly. All 4 back we're hearing, so no surprise there, but that could have been quite nasty there. You watch the front wheel will stop spinning any minute now. Not on this shot, we can't. Yeah, just there, you just see it lock with the front the footrest of Simon Gustafsson. Now they clash, now go straight in there, and that's what causes him to stop almost immediately, and he goes forward over the handlebars. But fortunately for Nick Morris and the Coventry Bees, he's fit enough to take the rerun.
He kept the bike going as well, so fair play to him. And Simon Gustafsson has just snapped the starting tape.
Thanks very much. Yeah.
The starting marshal won't be happy with him. The 2-minute time allowance comes on as the boys get ready for heat number 10. Once again, 31-23, Eastbourne lead. Can Coventry peg this back? Can they somehow, some way, give themselves a chance? A reminder, our information is that there will be no Emil Sayfutdinov this Thursday at Brandon. He has a pre-arranged Russian fixture, and at the moment they are not sure who will replace Emil Sayfutdinov because of the fact that they may not even get a guest facility because it's a Russian league fixture. They may not even get that facility, so what will they do?
Well, that'll be a hammer blow, won't it? Because that will severely weaken them and will make their task even harder, even if they do pick up 2 points here this evening and give themselves a chance by winning against King's Lynn.
I think the only alternative would be to try and make a signing for Thursday and replace Sayfutdinov.
Yeah, but who do you sign, Nige? You know, they're not growing on trees, world-class riders to come in at the last minute.
Absolutely, and Alan Rossiter made that point a little bit earlier. Hans Andersen was available. He's now back in British Speedway with Peterborough. Nicky Pedersen was the man to make way there.
He would have been an option, wouldn't he?
He would have been.
Yeah, and he's ridden for Coventry before, and I'm sure he would have been the sort of rider that... we've still got problems with the tapes. Riders still destroying the tapes before they've gone up. And the 2 boys there working hard. had a few restarts tonight, haven't we?
It's been one of those nights, hasn't it?
One of those nights where it's been highly competitive and no quarter being given going into that first turn, and riders coming unstuck. Fisher, though, the captain of the Coventry Bees, now that Edward Kennett has been bad, he needs a good ride here. He'll be very frustrated waiting in the pits after his heat exclusion last time.
Second time of asking. Gustafsson off the inside in blue. Morris goes off gate 2 in yellow. Gate 3 in red is Pedersen, Bjarne Pedersen for Eastbourne. Back in the Grand Prix next year, full-time, of course, and Ryan Fisher going off the outside for Coventry in white. Simon Gustafsson has turned back, and we are awaiting the arrival of Gustafsson to return to the start line. You get the feeling it's very tense, and I think it's fair to say Coventry are the underdogs, but if they do go 10 points down, Alan Rossiter can nominate a rider for double points, remember.
I was just going to go on to say that actually may be their best opportunity, because if they could get an 8-1 then, they would create tremendous momentum and give themselves that chance of picking up that extra point tonight. But it's not going to be easy, because with Cameron Woodward coming out, Bjarne Pedersen coming out, the Bees really have got to hit top form right now.
Heat number 10 it is. We see Nick Morris in yellow in for Przemek Pawlicki here in race number 10, away from the start. The Eagles have made a beauty. What a start that is from Gustafsson and from Bjarne Pedersen in red. And Gustafsson looks over his shoulder as Bjarne Pedersen holds second spot. Nick Morris is the man in yellow. Morris tries the inside line. Oh, his front wheel went over the line. And now Ryan Fisher in white. Fisher going high and wide, but Eastbourne still on a 5-1. There's no lack of effort from the Coventry Bees here, Cal.
Did not, but unfortunately for them, they're still in third and fourth. Nick Morris there just got himself in the wrong place. Ryan Fisher, I thought for a moment, might be able to get round the outside of Bjarne Pedersen. Bjarne Pedersen was so smart there. He shut the door on Nick Morris on the opening lap, and now Nick Morris is relegated out the back. This is more like it from Simon Gustafsson.
Yeah, good stuff from Bjarne Pedersen. All the experience, started with Newcastle in the Elite League, moved to Poole, and now with Eastbourne, only his third British club, which is unusual for a British career that spans over a decade. But what a ride from Simon Gustafsson. He's got it right finally in his last ride. He got a 5-1 in the opening race with Bjarne, but then 2 last places, and now he's got a 5-1, and the Eastbourne Eagles open up a 12-point lead.
Tactical time, Nigel, and it'll be very interesting to see which way Alan Rossiter goes. He's got Emil Sayfutdinov coming up in heat 11 now in the next race. You just sense that he's going to go with the double points with Sayfutdinov in heat 11.
We shall find out. He has to be an option against Kilmacorpy and Woodward. It's going to be tough, but Emil can win races like that.
He's got gate 1, Nigel.
Yep. Heat 10, Gustafsson the winner. Bjarne Pedersen was second. Ryan Fisher was third. It's a 5-1 to Eastbourne, who lead now by 36 points to 24 with 5 heats to go.
Well, Nick Morris this time just gets beaten up going into the first corner. Simon Gustafsson rides a really good first corner, powers down the back straight. Morris is in there in second place, but then Pedersen sweeps around the outside and slams the door shut going into turn 3, and that kills the momentum for Nick Morris, and then he finds it difficult to get amongst it. A really useful 5-1, stretches the points once again for the home team. Ryan Fisher then threatened very early on, but Pedersen was able to respond. Good stuff. Interesting to see what Alan Rossiter does now in regard to will he nominate Sayfutdinov for double points.
That's the option. Coventry's playoff hopes could hinge on the next race. We'll let you know what Alan Rossiter is planning in a few moments' time. Playoffs are upon us, starting next Monday night. We've had some fantastic memories of playoff encounters down the years, and it all gets underway next Monday. But where will we be? Who will be the 4 teams? We know 3 of them. Will Coventry manage to edge their way in, or will it be Lakeside? At the moment, Eastbourne Eagles lead Coventry Bees by 36 points to 24. Coventry need to get a draw at least tonight to really have any chance of getting into the top 4. They're going to do something about this situation where they're 12 points down. Let's find out now. Alan Rossiter is with Charlie.
Thanks, Nigel. Yeah, Alan, we've got Emil Sayfutdinov just behind us. You've put him on the tactical. Explain to us why. Emil.
He's got 2 race wins.
He's the one who's winning.
He seems to be getting pretty steady tonight. I'm pleased with him tonight, and hopefully Kenny can pop out with him. And you're always trying to look for where you can get a 7 or at least an 8.
Just saying on Emil, is there any concern? Because every time I've seen him, he's been moving his shoulder constantly, and he seems in quite a lot of pain.
Yeah, he is struggling a little bit, you know, where he crashed in Manila, and then also he had that where his throttle jammed open in Russia. Where he's turning so tight tonight, it's really playing him up quite badly, but he's a little bulldog. He'll keep fighting to the end anyway.
Yeah, you can never question his dedication out there, and neither yours. So what are you now saying to the team, because it is -12?
Yeah, we're -12 and we've got to get back into it and just got to keep plugging away. It's looking a bit grim. I mean, I've never known this track so slick. I know it's been slick before, but even slicker. But hey, it's the same for everybody. We just got to get on with it. But yeah, it's slowly going away from us, but we got to keep battling.
Yeah, definitely keep fighting there. You've got to make sure that the rest of the team are coming from like the rest as well, not just Emil scoring the points out there.
Not started off good, and he just had that one bad race, but hopefully he'll get dialed in for the next one. And like I said, you know, Kenny sort of struggled a little bit tonight, but you know, you can't blame him. He has got a broken wrist, but Fish is not having the best of nights, and it's just one thing after another. The motorway being shut off, it just like build up. Then Shemmick goes out without no steel shoe, so obviously his confidence is shot. So it's just one of them things, you know. You just have to accept it. It's Speedway, you know. But we've done really well to get to 5th place with all the rubbish that's gone on this year.
Don't, you sound like you're giving up already. I'm going to interrupt you there. Oh, we're in 5th place.
I haven't given up, but with all that's gone on, I think to get to 5th place is a pretty remarkable thing. We've had no riders, we've had injuries, and that to get nearly there and leave it down to the last 2 meetings is pretty good, you know. But hey, we're still fighting. But if we don't, I'm still pleased where we are, really, because it's been a long, hard season, probably one of the hardest ones I've had.
Apart from last year. Thanks very much, Alan. Let's see what Emil can do.
It was easy last year. We won it. It was great.
You weren't scared before you...
Yes, well, can we keep Alan quiet?
I don't think so. I think he's still rattling on now, I'm sure. But
Wolverhampton lead Bellevue, by the way, at
quite comfortably,
so
by the way. Yeah, but no.
Yeah, last year was brilliant with Coventry winning that league title. It was quite a story, and even though they're not giving up here, you do get the feeling that here now, heat number 11, Coventry's season could depend on this race now.
Yeah, it's that vital for them. The writing is a bit on the wall. They've had a very difficult season. They were late coming into the league, of course, after all the controversies, and then Hans Andersen got injured early on, and that really was then the catalyst for all sorts of problems. Not helped, of course, by Eddie Kennett getting banned for an illegal silencer. And then obviously the Pawlicki brothers not coming one week, and it really has been a messy season for the champions. One I would suggest that they will want to forget, and you know, come 2012 they can start afresh again.
So heat number 11 it is here at the Arlington Raceway. Here's your lineup then. Emil Sayfutdinov going for double points off the inside. Gate 2 in red is Jonas Kilmacorpy for the Eagles. Gate 3 is Kenny Larson in yellow for the Bees. And off the outside, the very impressive Cameron Woodward with his 5th ride of the night here. Yeah. Cameron Woodward, and he's got 11 points out of a possible 12.
Yeah, he's been going great guns, hasn't he? And he's capitalised on the inside gate, and he's certainly won a race on the outside as well. Sayfutdinov, I'm sure he'll be a rider that Woodward would like to lower his colours. He'd be chuffed to bits if he could beat the young Russian, but the Russian with the double points on his shoulders, can he make it work from the inside now?
Heat number 11 it is, a massive race for Coventry here. Watch out for the man in the black and white helmet colour. Has he hit that first turn? Yes, he has. They're on an 8-1. Kenny Larson has joined him. Sayfutdinov has to look over his shoulder. Coming up the inside now, Jonas Kilmacorpy for the Eagles. But they're on an 8-1 here, Coventry. Not for much longer. Kilmacorpy comes through. Now Larson has to try the inside line. As things stand, it's a 7-2 to the Coventry Bees. Sayfutdinov has the lead.
Woodward out of shape out of the back. Got to keep our eyes on Kenny Larson in 3rd place. He's the key man. If he can hang on in there, and 7-2 would be absolutely terrific. Out in front, Sayfutdinov is riding the storm. Woodward out of shape after hardly dropping a point tonight, really struggling here in heat 11. Sayfutdinov doing super sub. Woodward's down. He slipped off the bike. That hands a 7-2 to the Coventry Bees.
Well, Kilmacorpy holding 2nd place. 3rd place is Larson. It looks like a 7-2 race advantage for the Bees. Sayfutdinov with a 3rd straight win. Absolutely brilliant from the Russian. And 6 big points for him as well. And a 7-2 race advantage for the Coventry Bees. Woodward finishes last for the first time on the night. And what it means is that 7 points still separate these sides. It's not enough for Coventry with time running out. 4 races to go, but it's a brave, brave effort, and Sayfutdinov does the business. A delight to see him in British racing. Sayfutdinov the winner, Jonas Kilmacorpy second, Kenny Larson was third, a 7-2 to the Bees. Eastbourne Eagles 38, Coventry Bees 31, with 4 races to go.
Gate 1 worked really well here for Emil Sayfutdinov, absolutely rocketed to the first corner. He's joined there right alongside him by Kenny Larson, but unfortunately for Kenny Larson, Jonas Kilmacorpy gets up the inside of him here and he gets relegated back to 3rd place. The big surprise here is Cameron Woodward. Woodward actually fails to score after only dropping 1 point. On board, of course, with Kenny Larson. He's into 3rd place now as they come into the first corner for the 2nd time. Sayfutdinov out in front, winding it on, very nearly clipping the outside of the track there with a safety fence, but 6 points for him. Did the job brilliantly.
What a talent he is, brilliant. Emil Sayfutdinov is with Chris Louis.
Oh, yeah, soaked up the pressure, Emil's a big 6 points, but 7 points for the team. Still 7 points down though on the night.
Yeah, in the start was first gate is really good, and I win, and for sure it was a little bit too wet, you know, his track. It's a little bit going hard, but I'm happy.
Did you know that Kenny Larson was with you? It's very difficult to team ride on this track though.
Yeah, I don't see, you know, I must coming, you know, 6 points. I'm going straight.
Your boss says you have to come back with 6 points.
I must, you know, going straight, and you know, I'm here this first time. It's really hard track and good stuff. Well done, Emil.
Well, Simon Gustafsson is going in red here as rider replacement. I can tell you that Cameron Woodward will... Timo Lahti is actually staying in the lineup. There were indications that Cameron Woodward might go in blue, but Timo Lahti takes his place in blue. And I can tell you as well that Nick Morris is replacing Ryan Fisher in white. So that's the situation with this race. Heat number 12. Gustafsson is the rider replacement for Lucas Trimmel. But again, Emil Sayfutdinov, you have to take your hat off to him. He's got 3 straight wins tonight.
Brilliant effort there from Emil Sayfutdinov, because he's not fully fit. He's had a couple of nasty knocks this season, and he has come in here. It's a tight technical track, and you have to really be agile and flexible on the bike, and he's really doing a grand job. A lot of pressure now on the 2 youngsters from the Coventry Bees to keep the momentum going. Good 7-2, still plenty of work to be done though. 7 points behind, but Morris, who's been great tonight, and Piotr Pawlicki are going to have to come up with something special now, Nigel.
Yeah, and to be fair, there's only been 5 last places out of 11 heats for Eastbourne tonight. Gustafsson has finished last twice, Timo Lahti has finished last twice, and they are the 2 riders here for Eastbourne. So if Morris and Pawlicki can do the business here, then it might be game very much back on.
Exactly.
Heat 12 it is.
Yeah, 5-1, and then you have to say that they must have a chance of doing it.
Piotr Pawlicki off the inside in yellow. Gate 2 is Simon Gustafsson. However, note of caution, Coventry. Gustafsson won his last ride. Nick Morris, gate 3. He finished last in his last ride. Timo Lahti goes off the outside in blue. 7 points the difference. The next 4 heats will decide Coventry's season in terms of their playoff hopes. Lakeside will be watching on. The Hammers currently occupied at 4th place. And here are the gate stats. And, well, Piotr Pawlicki is the man with the advantageous inside gate.
Yeah, he's on the best gate. Nick Morris, he's on gate 3. He needs to do something in the first corner. The key to tonight, though, you need to make the move early, because it's very difficult to make up ground once you lose your momentum. We saw in Nick Morris and Cameron Woodward in the previous race, who's been on fire tonight, suddenly ran a last. Nick Morris, who's had a great night so far, he's going to be feeling a bit of pressure now. He needs to come up with a terrific ride once again.
2 race wins for Nick Morris. Superb start, heat number 12. And away from the start and hitting that first turn is Simon Gustafsson in red. Super ride from Gustafsson. And trailing at the back is Lahti. Now charging hard. Nick Morris in white. Watch him go. Morris will go absolutely hell for leather, chasing Simon Gustafsson in red. And he's getting all very close. And now Nick Morris is on the verge of passing him. Down the back straight. Oh dear.
Just got out of shape halfway around turns 1 and 2 second time. Loads of grip coming out of the corner. He was a little bit of a passenger before that, to be perfectly honest. He got so much grip, he just charged out of the corner and clips the air fence on the way out, and he's fallen heavily. He'll be feeling that one, but It was such a good effort up until that point. Round the bottom corner on the first lap, he was really winding it on. He was having a real go trying to get the best of Simon Gustafsson. But he can't fault his effort, Nigel. He comes there, look, that was the problem. He just got so much grip. He very nearly got there, just about got in front of him. He got right alongside him, but when we watch it through this corner now, he hits all that grip on the outside, and the bike just pulls away from him, and he clips the bottom of the air fence, and it catapults him over the handlebars. But it was such an exciting lap initially. He gets right in there, a little bit of contact now, too much grip on the back wheel. He's a passenger now, runs into the bottom of the air fence, and that throws him over the handlebars.
Bit of repairs.
Look at the energy being soaked up there by the air fence, and he's feeling that one.
Yeah, what a shame, because that was a great race developing. And
he was trying so hard around the outside. You can't fault the effort.
Yeah, so we're going to have another slight delay here, because Nick Morris will need treatment and the air fence will need repairing as well. But it was a terrific race emerging. Nick Morris is up.
Good news.
Which is great to see now.
Good news, yeah. Young bones, they bounce, don't they? You know, when you're a bit older, you feel those a bit harder. But the air fence did take most of the impact, so that was good news. And he was giving us everything. You know, Alan Rossiter can have no complaints from the youngster here this evening. He's done a good job from him. Just ran out of luck there, really. Just got too much grip halfway through the corner, and it just piled him into the bottom of the air fence.
Kenny Larson with him there, having a chat with Nick Morris. Let's hope that there's going to be no lasting damage there. He has really made a fantastic impression tonight, Nick Morris. It's great to see a young rider riding with such enthusiasm, no fear.
But it was asked the question earlier tonight, where are you coming from, you boys? And junior Speedway. You know, we're seeing so many young Poles coming into the sport, Scandinavians and Australians. All countries have a youth policy.
Well, the Danes, you know, I was with, in Denmark at the weekend, I was with Eric Gunderson, who's so heavily involved in the youth setup there in Denmark. And the ATCC projects that come through. And now we've seen Mikkel B. Jensen coming from Denmark to Swindon. Michael Jepsen Jensen has come to Peterborough. And Eric has said there's more to come. There are more Danish youngsters coming through the system.
White is excluded. That's unfortunate for Nick Morris, but no surprise. Just reenacted chatting with his teammates. He's got a smile on his face, but he's okay, and that's good news to see. I'm sure we might well be able to hear from him, but got to say, another rider from Australia that's got a big future.
Here's Charlie.
Yeah, thanks, Nick. Nobody can fault your dedication out there and your effort. We know how upset you were, the fact that you punched the ground as soon as you went down. Tell us from your point of view what happened.
Just come in a little bit hot and hit the dirt at the wrong angle and kind of picked up a little bit. And
Is that what you have to do, though? I mean, you either try and do something like that and see if it's successful, or you just sit behind the rider, right?
Oh, yeah. It's probably better to sit behind them than do that, but yeah, guess you got to have a go, don't you?
Exactly. Do you agree with the decision, or that's been made?
Yeah, it was my fault.
Are you pleased with how you've done tonight? Have you learned quite a lot? Despite the fact that that's just happened, you have ridden excellently, and a lot of people have been saying your name.
Yeah, well, started good and starting to go downhill now, but try and pick things up now, so yeah.
What do you think of this track? Because you came down here, about 10 days ago, you got, I think, 8+1 it was, but I heard that you didn't really like it. Is that true?
It's not my favourite track. I don't think it's many people's favourite track, but got to ride it, don't you? So, yeah, give it my best anyway.
How's your experience been with the Bees so far this season?
Yeah, awesome. Every meeting I do with them's just a bonus, and yeah, hopefully I can keep doing good if we make the playoffs.
I think Alan Rossiter's got his eye on you for next season as well, so...
I'll see what happens.
Thanks very much, Nick.
Well, understandable that Coventry are after him. Now, what does he do as the young man? He's got a decision to make. Does he stay in the Premier League for another year, or does he go full-time into the Elite League? It's a decision that maybe he has to make.
Well, he may have to make it, but probably ideally, if he could keep doubling up. You know, at that age, you just want to ride every day of the week, and you've got plenty of energy and the experience of riding all the time. You know, it might just be a little bit too soon. One more season in the Premier League, doubling up with a classy club like Coventry could be the ideal scenario. Certainly that's the way I would see it.
Well, I'm sure his dad Lee, watching down in Australia, will have his own views on the way his lads should go forward next season. And here we see Timo Lahti, who's been involved in 1 or 2 stoppages tonight. one or two stopped races, I should say. That hasn't been his fault. As we build up to heat number 12. The 2-minute time allowance is on. Paul Carrington has now got his finger on the button. The air fence has been repaired.
Yeah, but Coventry's chances are looking slimmer and slimmer, aren't they now? Because with the exclusion of Nick Morris, we're just down to Piotr Pawlicki, and you've got to say that it's going to be a mighty task. At the best, they can only get a 3-all out of this one,
which would leave them 7 down with only 3 races to go. You did get the impression from Alun Rossiter with that interview a few moments ago with Charlie that he was almost expecting that they'd run out of time.
The belief has gone out of him. You know, in that conversation he had with Charlie, and you know, it is an uphill task right now.
Heat 12 with Pawlicki off the inside, Piotr Pawlicki that is, and gate 2 in red is Simon Gustafsson. No rider off gate 3, and off the outside is Timo Lahti in the blue helmet colour for the Eastbourne Eagles, with a win to his name tonight. And as Kelvin said, the best Coventry can get here is a 3-all, and that's if Pawlicki jumps out of the start and wins the race. It was such a shame there for Nick Morris, because it was a fabulous race developing.
Really was exciting stuff, and it's always a delight to see a young rider come into the league and ride like that. He looks like he knows what he's doing. He's a little bit shy when he's interviewed at this early stage, but seems a pretty level-headed sort of kid.
So Piotr Pawlicki in yellow, ready to go. Gustafsson comes to the start line now for the restart of heat number 12. A lot of pressure on Piotr Pawlicki in yellow for the Coventry Bees. The younger brother of Przemek Pawlicki. Can he make the start? No, he's been out-trapped there by Gustafsson in red. Will Lahti come around the outside of him here, down that back straight? Pawlicki holds second place right now. This would be a 9-point deficit for Coventry if it stays like this, and they wouldn't have the option of a second tactical ride. That can only happen if they're 12 points or more behind. The lead here is with Simon Gustafsson. Pawlicki, though, having a go, Kel.
Yeah, he's not shy. He's going very well in second place. Simon Gustafsson out-battled him. Pawlicki got it all wrong there. Can he get up the inside of Lahti to replay the compliment? Yes, he does. Chain guard flies off. Roaring around the outside. Dramatic stuff for second and third. Young Piotr Pawlicki enjoying quite a dramatic race here. Meanwhile, Simon Gustafsson's got quite a comfortable lead out in front. He should be able to wrap up enough to win on the night. Piotr Pawlicki hanging on, literally hanging on in second place.
This would be a 4-2 to Eastbourne with just 3 races to go. And the win is Simon Gustafsson's. He's just won 2 rides on the trot now, Gustafsson, after 2 last places on the trot. It was a brave effort from Piotr Pawlicki, who has shown good signs here for Coventry tonight, down at reserve on his first visit to this track. But a fine ride there from Simon Gustafsson. 2 wins on the trot for him. And Timo Lahti now has notched 5 points at reserve, which is a very handy contribution indeed for the Eastbourne Eagles. Heat 12 and Simon Gustafsson the winner. Piotr Pawlicki was second. Timo Lahti was third. And Nick Morris excluded, a 4-2 in favour of the Eagles, who lead now by 42 points to 33.
Simon Gustafsson is dynamite here out of gate 2. He battles his way into that first corner and winds the throttle on. And as the race continues, it's Pawlicki, the rider in the yellow helmet colour there, that actually begins to put some pressure on Gustafsson out in front. But then he gets it all wrong. Overlocks here, and Timo Lahti gets in amongst it, and he gets into second place, and then Pawlicki has the presence of mind to respond and gets back into second place. But Simon Gustafsson's had an odd night. A second, then 2 last places, and then 2 wins. Good way to finish.
We're getting straight on with heat number 13, although the 2 minutes time allowance isn't on yet. Paul Carrington not using the 2 minutes time allowance. Oh, there he goes.
And there it now, yeah.
There it now,
so, yeah, good looking lineup for heat 13. Certainly interesting to see if Sayfutdinov there. We're looking at him riding round to the start line and continue to win races tonight. He's won the last 3 outings.
Yeah, he's been brilliant.
After a 3rd place in his opening one. Bearing in mind, this is the first full meeting he's done here. And
the last time he was here, Kel, he made the point, there was sawdust all over the track because it had absolutely poured down with rain. So
yeah, it had.
First chance to ride this track in proper conditions.
Agreed, and he's not fully fit, but I tell you what, he has shown tremendous courage, and he's put in a classy performance.
Jarni Pedersen is the man in the red helmet, alongside Jonas Kilmacorpy for Eastbourne here, Emil Sayfutdinov and Przemek Pawlicki, who is in for the suspended Edward Kennett. This is where you miss Edward Kennett as a Coventry man. You miss Edward Kennett.
Right, he's a track
here
specialist.
In Heat 13, you'd have fancied him to win this race.
Indeed, and he's a track specialist. He grew up around here, lives locally, and knows this place inside out. So, yeah, that is a major handicap for the Coventry Bees.
Bjarne Pedersen off gate number 1. Gate number 2 is Emil Sayfutdinov. Gate number 3 is Jonas Kilmakorpi. Going off the outside is Przemysław Pawlicki, otherwise known as Shemek. He goes off the outside for heat number 13. 9 points the difference. Coventry have to claw 9 points back in the next 3 races, realistically, to keep alive their hopes of a playoff place. If they lose by 6 or less, they'll get a point and would still have an outside chance, but they would need to absolutely demolish Kings Lynn at Coventry this coming Thursday. Kings Lynn have been good value wherever they've gone this season. In their first season in the Elite League, they've been great.
Good looking outfit, aren't they? With Niels Christian Everson and Kenneth Pierre and Oliver Allen, they've been value. We're looking at Sayutdinov. What can he do in Heat 13 now?
Sayutdinov in the white helmet colour, making 4 wins on the trot. Going into that first turn, Bjarne Pedersen takes the lead. Diving up the inside now is Sayutdinov, but Pedersen holds the line. Here comes Emil Sayfutdinov down the back straight. Bjarne Pedersen holds the line. Sayutdinov is second. Kilmakorpi locks up and comes up the inside. He's in third place. Shemek Pawlicki is at the back. It's a 4-2 to Eastbourne, and this would mean that they would have a very handy lead with just 2 races to go. Sayutdinov trying hard, but Bjarne Pedersen showing all his class.
Yeah, I just thought for a moment that Sayutdinov was going to be able to get up the inside and hang on to it, but Bjarne Pedersen then powered around the outside and got to the front. Pawlicki out the back on the back wheel, can't get in amongst it. Kilmakorpi's the danger man for Sayutdinov. And Bjarne Pedersen showing terrific class out in front, and one of the reasons why he's back in the Grand Prix Series next year.
Well, this would mean that Coventry Bees cannot win this meeting tonight in heat number 13, because the lead now is beyond Coventry. It's a 4-2 to the Eastbourne Eagles. They lead by 11 points, and realistically, that is the race which will probably, I say probably, not mathematically, but probably end Coventry's hopes of a playoff place, because the difference is 11. For another tactical ride, it has to be 12.
Yeah.
That really is, you would suggest,
slipping
the
away,
race which ends Coventry's hopes.
Yeah, it's the writing's on the wall, and it's a disappointing night for the Coventry Bees, but for Bjarne Pedersen out in front, Nigel, that's a very useful 3 points and a classy ride in Heat 13.
Emil Sayfutdinov was second, Jonas Kilmakorpi was third, and Shemek Pawlicki, who arrived late, was stuck on the motorway and has managed just 1 point in 3 rides. He probably thinks he wishes he could have turned back and gone home, but anyway.
Yeah, he'll want to forget tonight, but this is good stuff in this league. Bjarne Pedersen off the inside makes a good fist of things. Sayutdinov, coming out of the first corner, did actually get his nose in front, but he doesn't close the door. He's quite kind. He has a couple of looks. Now, Bjarne Pedersen there on that look, you can see Pedersen was there, and he roared around the outside and picks up a nice win in a big race, and showed some terrific stuff, and plenty of respect between the 2 big guns.
Reaction from Bjarne Pedersen now with Chris.
Thanks, Nigel. Bjarne, fantastic night so far, dropping just 1 point. Slick conditions out there, but doesn't seem to be holding you back.
You really need to get the bike working, because it's slick out there tonight. So far, you know, the start is working good, and so far I chose the right decision in the first corner.
You look like you've just about scuppered Coventry's chances of making the playoffs, but I mean, Poole are the informed team. They've topped the league once again, as they did last year, but they don't hold any fears for you guys, because you've already beaten them here quite convincingly twice this year.
I think, you know, it's important just to concentrate about our own game, and you know, keep winning, keep the confidence up, and see what happens in the playoff.
Poole, obviously a big part of your life. You've had many successful seasons down there. How strange is it going to be to be facing them, hopefully, in a playoff final?
Well, you know, that if we could get into the final, that'd be great, you know. So, you know, I'm pleased. I have done the work for Eastbourne so far, and yeah, we'll see what happens then.
Great stuff. Well done, Bjarne.
Thanks.
Yeah, terrific ride there from Bjarne Pedersen. I should mention, by the way, there's talk about all these Aussies and Danes coming through the system. There is the British 125cc Championship coming up here at Eastbourne after they ride Pool here next week. And there's youngsters, young British riders from 8 to 12 years old.
Oh, that's good news.
On the 125cc.
I do know that Martin Dugard actually is heavily involved in that, and they're keen to try and foster some interest in the youth Speedway down here, but so we need to do much more of it, to be perfectly honest.
Absolutely, but it's a starting point.
Yeah,
all
credit to them. Yeah, absolutely. But a great effort generally by the Eastbourne Eagles this year. You know, obviously Bjarne Pedersen coming in has done a great job. Quite
a turnaround, because as we've said before in the show tonight, Eastbourne have struggled in recent seasons, and it's good to see different teams up there at the top. Lakeside doing terrific. It looks like they're going to be in the playoffs now as well, and it's going to be a fascinating contest in the race for the title.
Well, I fancy Eastbourne. You know, I looked at their team at the beginning of the season. It had a solid looking team, very well balanced, and as you said at the top of the show, Nigel, they were always going to have a strong reserve, and we're seeing the importance of that now at the business end of the season. You know, when you've got an experienced rider like Cameron Woodward, where he can pick up 6 or 7 points a night, that really is, it can be hugely important. It can be a match-winning rider from that position. So Lewis Bridger started there earlier this season. I suspect Simon Gustafsson has had times down at reserve as well. So they've always had strength down there.
Eastbourne go to Pool on Wednesday in the Knockout Cup first leg. The return is here on Saturday. So a South Coast derby in the Knockout Cup, Eastbourne versus Pool. And that's followed immediately by the 125cc British Championship with youngsters of 8 to 12 years old. So get down here and watch the youngsters if you can. So that should be a fair old cup tie between those two, Pool and Eastbourne. Could it be a prelude, if you like, to the Elite League playoff final, I wonder?
Well, just rehearsal.
Kings Lynn and Lakeside will have something to say about that, I'm sure. And by the way, the playoff lineup in terms of the fixtures will be confirmed later this week. We won't confirm them tonight.
Probably Wednesday, I would think. There'll be a good chance that it'll be announced exactly who's going where. Looking forward to that. The playoffs, of course, are always dramatic stuff, always keep you on the edge of your seat. Couple of races to go here. Hasn't gone the way of the Coventry Bees tonight. You've got to say that they found it really tough going.
Had a go though, haven't they?
Oh, yeah, they haven't thrown the towel in. It's just that one or two of their riders have found it difficult, and particularly with Pawlicki, Przemysław Pawlicki, he has got into the meeting. That first race with no steel shoe on, from that moment on, he's found points very difficult to come by.
Goes off the inside here in white. Gate 2 in blue is Cameron Woodward. Gate 3 is Piotr Pawlicki. He comes in for Nick Morris. And off the outside is Lewis Bridger. Nick Morris with that crash in his 6th ride, obviously feeling the effects. He actually crashed in a similar position on the track, a virtual carbon copy, when they were last here. Less than a couple of weeks ago. They had a double header here against Wolves and Coventry, and Morris was involved in a similar crash here at Eastbourne. And here we see heat number 14. Bridger and Woodward is a powerhouse combination for Eastbourne on this track, particularly.
Yeah.
The Pawlicki brothers, well, they are representing the Bees in the white and the yellow. Shemek in white and Piotr in yellow. Now into that first turn, very, very close, and coming around the outside in the red helmet, Lewis Bridger. Super right from Bridger. This will confirm Lakeside in the playoffs if it stays like this, because Coventry would go back to Warwickshire without anything from this meeting. This would ensure that Eastbourne take the maximum 3 points. Lewis Bridger has the lead. Second place in white is Shemek Pawlicki, and third is Piotr Pawlicki, with Cameron Woodward chasing hard at the back.
Yeah, Bridger looks good out in front, you've got to say that. Shemek Pawlicki is riding a much better race in second place, but I tell you what, his brother, Piotr, was really forceful in the first corner, literally shoved Woodward out the way. Woodward has finished the night, not as he started it. He has had it tough out there, and it looks like he's going to run 2 last places. Out in front, though, Lewis Bridger has got things pretty much under control.
Lewis Bridger goes into turns 3 and 4 for the final time. We now know the 4 teams for the Elite League playoffs. They are the Pool Pirates, the Eastbourne Eagles, the Kings Lynn Stars, and tonight it's congratulations to the Lakeside Hammers, who are confirmed as qualifiers for the Elite League playoffs. That is clear-cut now, and Lewis Bridger wins Heat 14 for Eastbourne.
Yeah, good-looking ride there from Lewis Bridger. Bitterly disappointment, of course, for the champions. The Coventry Bees have had a tough time this year. Bridger just doing a great celebration wheelie down the start and finish straight. Pawlicki brothers gave it all there, but they couldn't handle Lewis Bridger this time.
And hands up here in the Speedway Star at the start of the season. I said Lakeside would finish bottom of the table. They've just been confirmed as playoff qualifiers. I am never making a comment in Speedway Stars predictions ever again. Lewis Bridger the winner. Przemek Pawlicki was second.
Till the next time.
Until next March. And Piotr Pawlicki was, depends how much they pay me.
Yeah,
Cameron Woodward at the back. And it was Eastbourne Eagles 49, Coventry Bees 38.
Well, away from the start, they roar into the first corner, and it's Przemek Pawlicki does a good job on the inside. Look at Piotr Pawlicki there, roared in there and just shoved Cameron Woodward out of the way. Into the first turn, and they're coming in there. Cameron Woodward gets shoved out of the way, and there he is. He's found it tough. He only dropped 1 point on his first 4 rides, but has failed to score in the next couple. But certainly Lewis Bridger celebrating on the back wheel. He's finished his night off in style.
Well, the Elite League table looks like this. We now know that the top 4 are confirmed in the Elite League playoffs for the 2011 campaign. Poole Pirates, Eastbourne Eagles, Kings Lynn Stars in their first season back in the Elite League, and the Lakeside Hammers. Who will race against who? We'll find out later this week. Poole will have first choice of opposition. We'll find out later in the week, as we say. But still to come. Welcome back to Arlington, where this is the latest score. Eastbourne 49, Coventry 38. So an 11-point lead for the Eagles, who now are virtually certain of claiming all 3 points tonight. A 5-0 to Coventry, they get a point, but it's very unlikely. So the 4 qualifiers for the playoffs: Poole Pirates, Eastbourne Eagles, Kings Lynn Stars and Lakeside Hammers. They are the 4 playoff rivals, and we'll confirm that lineup for you later in the week. No doubt keep in touch with Sky Sports News, and they'll keep you up to date with the fixtures for the Elite League playoffs between those 4 sides. It's a mouth-watering lineup. We look forward to it. And, well, who are favourites to go on and win the Elite League title? Let's build up to Heat 15 here tonight. Been a hugely entertaining night at Speedway. Trevor Gear, the Eastbourne team manager. Let's hear from him now.
Thanks, Nigel. Trevor, came into tonight, not too much pressure, but you still wanted to win the meeting. You wanted to keep the momentum going. You've only had 1 narrow loss here at Eastbourne, and it's very important to take that momentum into the playoffs, isn't it?
It certainly is, yeah. You know, and it's good now to go in the playoffs with this win tonight, you know, and I think it just shows whoever comes here and that they're in for a tough meeting.
Exactly, you said whoever. I mean, Poole, Kings Lynn, Lakeside, who would you prefer it to be?
I'd like to see Lakeside. I think it's a good, you know, Lakeside would be great. It's a good local derby for us, just 60 mile up the road and that. I'm sure that'll bring in a lot of support, you know, and they're a good side with Lee Richardson and that, you know, so look for any team really, just bring them on. None
of them are going to be an easy pick though, are they?
No, they're not. No. You know, like if we do get Poole and that, you know, that would be a tough one. You know, home and away. So, no, I look forward to it's good to be in the playoffs. We just want to win it now. Well, congratulations, you're there now. You can relax and sit back and prepare the boys for the playoffs. That's it. Like they deserved it. They've been fired up all year and that. You know, they've been determined to get here and that. And now we've done it. We just want to get out there and get some silverware, really. Congratulations, Trevor. Thank you. Over to you, Charlie.
Yeah, I've just been wiping away the tears from Alan. Alan, commiserations, but you said to me that a little bit earlier that, you know, we've done well to get 5th place. Come on. Yeah. How do you really feel?
Of course I'm disappointed. I genuinely believe that we could get to the playoffs. It was just a bridge too far, unfortunately. We tried, and I think that traffic jam on the motorway just finished our season.
Stop blaming the traffic jam. Okay, let's go to a positive. And some of your young riders have been absolutely sensational for you tonight, that you can really, really build on. A really positive showing for Coventry Bees and Speedway.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I've got no worries. I mean, I've got loads of picks for next year. That's not a problem, you know. But obviously, it's a bit of disappointment of not, you know, everybody's goal and everybody's aim is to make the playoffs. And unfortunately, we never made it this year after such a great year last year. You know, it's a bit of a downer at the moment, but we'll get over it. And hopefully, we can all get together and try and be sensible and all get ready for next year.
Well done for tonight. Let's go on with Heat 15. Thanks, Alan.
Cheers. Thank you, Charlie.
Thanks.
Heat 15 coming up then. Bjarne Pedersen goes off the inside for Eastbourne. Gate 2 is Przemysław Pawlicki for the Coventry Bees. He's only got a point to his name tonight. Gate 3 in blue is Jonas Kilmacorpi and Emil Sayfutdinov going off the outside in yellow. So it's a meeting that Coventry cannot win. They're 11 points down. The only way they would get a point is by a 5-0, which is a freak result in Speedway. So it's beyond them, realistically. you feel, but Eastbourne will also want to go out on a high. And a bit of movement at the start there. Will the referee let the race continue? He does. He lets Pawlicki move to the start, and now he's charging up the inside in second place here. The lead though is with Bjarne Pedersen. Second place is Pawlicki. Sayutdinov is at the back, and Sayfutdinov is coming up the inside. But third place is with Kilmacorpy.
Yeah, great stuff from Bjarne Pedersen off the inside, roared into the first corner. Emil Pawlicki in the second place, actually enjoying a much better ride here. Finally, now we're seeing the qualities of the man. Kilmacorpy is in third place, and unfortunately for Sayutdinov, finding life difficult out the back, getting out of shape once again. Certainly slowing, almost like he's got some sort of mechanical problem. But out in front, Bjarne Pedersen is doing a grand job for the Eastbourne Eagles.
Yeah, Bjarne Pedersen taking it easy now. He's got the race in the bag. Sayutdinov has pulled up at the end of the race. It looks as though he's had enough for the night, Emil Sayfutdinov. But Bjarne Pedersen is leading Eastbourne to all 3 points. It's a big night for the Eagles. They head into the playoffs in winning mood with a victory over the Coventry Bees, which ends the Bees' hopes, and their defence of the league championship is over after a brave effort.
Yeah, disappointment for the champions, of course. They failed to make the playoffs this season. The reverse, of course, is for the Eastbourne Eagles. They've done a grand job, and Bjarne Pedersen has played his part, a major role he's played here this season so far, and he's in top form, and the fans are delighted, and they'll be looking forward to the next couple of weeks. Who knows, it could be their season. They've been, particularly around their home track here at Arlington, they're going to be a very difficult team to beat. But congratulations to the Eastbourne Eagles on the night. They fully deserve to win.
Pedersen the winner, Pawlicki second, Kilmacorpy third, a 4-2 to the Eagles, who win here tonight by 53 points to 40, and that's the exact same score that they beat Coventry by here on the 3rd of September. So an exact replica of the scoreline from just over a week ago. 53-40, and that means that Lakeside Hammers tonight sit at home and can relax now, knowing they're in the playoffs.
Pawlicki moved a little bit on the start, but it penalised him. It was a great start from Bjarne Pedersen up the inside, powers down the back straight. You just see Pawlicki there having a bit of a jump at the tapes, but the referee allows it to continue. Kilmacorpy hangs on in third place. Pawlicki finally beginning to show his class in second place, but Bjarne Pedersen really is enjoying his Speedway this year. He's rediscovered his enthusiasm.
Well, let's confirm the league table now after the conclusion of that meeting, and as we say, Lakeside on 46. It means that Coventry now, with 1 meeting to go against Kings Lynn on Thursday night, cannot catch the Lakeside Hammers. So it's Poole, Eastbourne, Kings Lynn and Lakeside, as we told you before, Heat 15 in the playoffs now. And they are 4 top teams who are going to put on a great show for us. 2 semi-finals back-to-back next Monday, which is the 19th. Second legs are on the 26th. The final of the playoffs are on Monday, the 3rd of October, the first leg, and the deciding second leg of the playoffs on Monday, the 10th of October. Bring it on. We can't wait. Simon Gustafsson, one of the Eastbourne heroes tonight, is with Chris.
Yeah, he's another guy that just can't wait as well. Simon, 4th year with the club, and in your first playoff semi-finals at least.
Oh yeah, it's looking good so far. If we can keep this up, we could do a big impact in the playoffs this year.
You're carrying plenty of momentum into this. You had you had a double header here last week, won both of them convincingly. So you're going with a bit of confidence.
Oh yeah, we just keep winning big time at home, and yeah, we've got to try to keep it up for the playoffs now. It's a new league starting now in the playoffs, so nothing we can rely on in the playoffs. Just start all over again and pick the good pieces and put it in the baggage really.
And with the whole team now scoring points, Timo Latte, he's slowly learning the tracks over here in the UK. He's picking up points. That adds good team spirit as well, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, it's lovely. I've never had this much fun as we're having this year. It's a lovely team spirit. Everybody's scoring points now, as you say, and everybody gets along. It's just yeah, it's just a good fun to fly over here. You're flying over here with a big smile every week. It's yeah, it's lovely.
$1 million questions. Can you make the final? When you get there, can you win it?
Yeah, of course we can. Yeah.
I had a feeling you'd say that. Well done, Simon.
All right, thank you.
Over to you, Charlie.
Yeah, thank you. Maybe I should ask the same question. Chris just had to Simon. Can you win it? Can you win it?
You know, it's a hard, long season, and then when it comes to the playoff, you know, it all starts again. So you know, it's anyone's, and as long as we take the right, you know, positive attitude, you know, all 7 of us, and we need, you know, 1 to 5 to be strong, and the 2 reserves to be on top form, and you know, obviously it depends on what draw we get and where we go, you know, and you know, Venice anyone's, I'm sure we can take it. It'd be great, you know, for the Eagles if we could. You know, they haven't had the best of luck over the past, you know, 4 or 5 seasons.
So you mentioned the draw then. If you could decide who you got, who would you pick?
I think it'd have to be Lakeside because obviously, you know, it'd be like a local derby. You know, we're the 2 closest clubs to each other, and hopefully all the fans will get together and we'll get 2 mega, you know, 2 good meetings out of it with a lot of support from the fans. That makes a lot of difference in this sport.
I mean, you've been riding for the Eagles for quite a long time now. We were just talking about it. What's been different this year?
I think, you know, obviously I went away to Coventry last season and I did have a great season there, and it was, you know, absolutely awesome to win the title there, and to come to Eastbourne this season, from when I was here a few seasons ago, the atmosphere is so much better, you know. I think the boys living with Trevor Gear at his home at the Gear family, you know, I think they all bond really well. Cam with, you know, Jonas and even Timo, and I think Timo's really enjoying it in England now as well, and you know, with them 3 coming strong, that's nearly half the side, and me and Simon get on well, and we've just all bonded as a team, and we're enjoying our Speedway, and you know, that's why we're here.
You can definitely tell that. Well done and best of luck as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Definite feeling in the Eagles camp, isn't there, that they can go on and become league champions this year. The playoffs are upon us. Then, Kelvin, the big question now, what will the semi-final lineup be? Poole Pirates, who are league leaders, they have a choice of opposition. Will the Poole Pirates go for Eastbourne? Will they go for Kings Lynn? Or will they go for Lakeside? What are your thoughts?
It would be a huge surprise if they picked to the Eastbourne Eagles.
I think we can rule those out,
yeah,
can't
exactly. So, because they've been beaten comfortably down here twice. I think then of the options between Kings Lynn and Lakeside, I favour Kings Lynn. Poole Pirates enjoy going there. They've had success there this season, so I sense that may be the pick. They'll probably now pick Eastbourne, and just throw that out of the way. But
I don't think so.
I fancy that the Pirates will go for Kings Lynn.
I think they'll wait until after tomorrow, because the Swedish League action, they want to be sure that all the riders come through.
Yeah.
And Poole have got worries over Thomas Jonasson, haven't they? Dennis Anderson has been in the wars lately as well, so they'll be keen to see them come through Swedish League action tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm sure Matt Ford and Neil Middleditch will hopefully have a clean bill of health when their boys fly back into the country, and then they'll be making that decision. They've had their own problems, of course, recently. You're talking about injuries. They have suffered injuries. Thomas H. Jonasson was a terrific signing, but there are major question marks over whether he will be available for them. So it's far from over, and really looking forward to it.
And the playoff system really does throw up some thrills and spills. You don't have to finish top of the table to win the league. Remember, last year Coventry were 26 points behind them and were crowned champions. It's all about what happens in October when it comes to the destination of the title.
Well, exactly. The next 2 weeks, you've got to have the confidence, you've got to have the momentum. This team we've seen tonight certainly have that, and will be in with a shout.
Miasto w chmurach,